This show is brought to you by Onnit. Go to onnit.com and use code word CHURCH to save 10% on all of their amazing optimization products like Alpha Brain, New Mood, ShroomTech Immune, and ShroomTech Sport.
Kick that muley. Wednesday, October 12th, 2016, you bad motherfuckers. Uncle Joey here, Lee Syatt here. My main man, Bruce Buffer, in the house. And it's the church of what's happening now. Little old school Janet Jackson. When she was still rocking and rolling. Oh shit. Kick it, Lee. Kick that muley. Kick that fucking muley. I want to see that board blow up in flames and shit. Like a fucking Samsung phone. Blow that thing up, brother. Oh shit. And you thought it was just another Wednesday night, huh? Shit. Here we go. Bye 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 bye. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. What the fuck you think you're dealing with? Thank you very much for clicking in. Bruce Buffy, Lee Syatt. What's the story, Lee Syatt?
Ooh, I'm doing good.
How you feeling? All right? You have a good day today?
I had a great day. I went down to Beverly Hills for a little bit, did a little work, and went to the gym.
Did you bump him for the small 15 yet, or are you still fucking around?
No, I'm not. I didn't ask him for 15 grand yet.
All
no.
right. Fucking guy.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
What's going on with you, Bruce Buffy? You're back. You're beautiful. You got canceled, so here we are this week. You're relaxing.
Well, it got canceled, man. I'm glad I don't have a TV show running right now. You would have scared the hell out of me right there. But you know what? Just got back from Manchester, England. Crazy night of UFC action there. I've been traveling for them, traveling for other appearances. And right now, with the show that was going to be in Manila, in the Philippines, it got canceled at the last second, the ninth hour. And you'll never hear me say this, but I mean, I hate missing the UFC, but I'm happy that I got 3 weeks in town and going to relax, enjoy, and get back to some other things I got to do.
You know, a couple of weeks ago, I got put on the opening weekend of the Oddball Tour.
Mm-hmm.
And it came sudden. It didn't have a lot of advertising. The first week had a great lineup, but it just didn't fall the great way it should have. So they first canceled Sunday and Saturday. So all we had left was Thursday and Friday.
How'd you feel about that? You like that?
I was pretty happy. I was moving that week. I didn't really want to fucking come back Monday morning and have to get right on the moving truck and pick up and the baby and the wife. So I was pretty happy about that. And then there was rumors that they were going to cancel Thursday and Friday. And as soon as the rumor hit me Monday, I went and cut a chicken head like I wanted it to fucking cancel. And as much as I didn't, you know, every once in a while you need that. It's like when you're a kid and they close school for 2 days.
Oh, I love snow days.
You catch a fucking break. Every once in a while you catch a little break, and it's when you need it in life.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't catch that break at your own direction. You catch that break because you're forced into it.
Oh, yeah.
The opposite
No, I get it.
Because you're a pro, and I consider myself a pro. And Lee, I'll tell you by the end of the show, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Right. So
I hope I impress.
You're doing great.
By the end of the show, it'll be Chris.
I gotta say, I saw some moves in the chair to Janet Jackson. I was a little impressed.
Lee's a bad motherfucker.
I gotta be honest though, I can only dance when I'm sitting down. I'm a big guy. I have short legs and I don't really move that well. But sitting down, something about I have good hips.
Great.
I have good hips.
Just make sure you got a chair that goes from side to side.
I'm happy you got good hips. Wait when ISIS captures you. You'll need those hips. Cocksucker.
Oh,
what were you saying?
You know what? It's just that when something happens like that, okay, you'll work every night of the week if you have to. You love what you do, like I do. I'm passionate about what I do as far as what I do in the octagon. And I don't ever want to miss a show, and every time it's a show, it's my first show, and I just have this great passionate attitude that drives me. But I don't stop. You know, it's like when I maybe should take a break, I don't. I'll just keep working. And I don't wear myself out because
No, you take care of yourself.
I take care of myself.
Take care of yourself.
You got to. You
just keep moving. A lot of people don't understand.
Yeah.
This thing called work ethic and it's working smart. We don't have a job.
You said it. Smart.
Working smart. You and I don't have a job.
Lifestyle.
A job is 9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
True.
You're home with the cat Saturday and Sunday. You go food shopping and you're back at work Monday. Nothing wrong with that. Millions of people do that lifestyle.
I love it. I love the whole diary there. That's great.
Yeah, it's a real. It is what it fucking is.
Yeah, it is
and
what it is.
once you're in it, you're in it. Some of the people get opportunities in life where they have a job but not really, or they have a job and it's nights and it's scattered. Maybe you work Monday, Tuesday, and you have 3 days off, and everybody has a different situation. But then there's a thing when you're in a certain position where you're a one-man operation and you're your own boss, and when you first get that opportunity, you run yourself ragged for a few years because you overcompensate.
That's true, but also too, Joey, isn't a few years.
What's that?
Your years in show business easily total what? 30?
25.
25? Mine's almost 30 now. And with that being said, it's just that we love what we do. Like you said, I call it life by design. I don't take that away from anybody from what they do in life, because I've certainly had plenty of 9 to 5 situations. I've also owned companies since I was 19 where it wasn't 9 to 5, it was 9 to 9.
9 to 9.
7 days a week. You know what I'm talking about. So we all have to pay our dues and all do it. But even though they see you on a show, they see you in a movie, they see me in the Octagon or another area of entertainment where I work, it's like, oh, guy's got it so easy. I look, he's got it so easy. So easy. They don't take into account that, granted, to put on that hour of show for an artist or work by the Octagon for 8 hours doing everything from, what you do in the Octagon to what you need to do out of the Octagon during that 8 hours to make the show flow and do your part of a huge team. You going to do your one-man show here coming up this week. There's mental preparation. There's physical preparation. There's so much preparation that goes into a lot of these things, no matter how small the job. And just because it looks easy, the trick is you make it look easy. And if you make it look easy, then all the professional tactics you're putting into it are working, because you're not running yourself into the ground, and you keep your performance for your people strong.
It seems like whenever anyone says something's easy, they're never an expert. And if you're ever in anything, and even not even an expert, but involved in anything, people always seem to say
don't really
they have
know.
respect for it.
People don't really fucking know.
People
don't ever include travel time. People don't understand that when you live in California, if you go get a fucking hot dog, it's a fucking hour down the road. People that call you up and say, "Hey, come on down to Huntington Beach at 3:00. We're gonna have a screening." Listen, cocksucker. That means I'll leave at 12. That's my whole fucking day.
Doesn't mean you just leave at 12. It means you're sitting in 5 mile an hour traffic.
So it's amazing how I'm going to be here 20 years in January. I have an ethnic immigrant work ethic, which means I don't give a fuck. If there's an envelope, we're there. If I don't have to pass out and kill myself or stab a motherfucker, we're there. You know what I'm saying? For the first 10 years I was here, I got here in 97. And I didn't even know when I first met Joe Rogan, for example, people would go, he's on news radio. I had no idea what news radio was, because I was such a comic, I didn't watch TV. I was so into it, I didn't know what TV was. I didn't know what TV was till I got NYPD Blue, and I finally turned it on one night on a Tuesday night, and I watched it for like an hour. That's the first time in years I had turned it. And before that, I did Time. I'm snorting blow and eating fucking monkey and shit. I'm not watching TV. Who the fuck stays home in these days?
You didn't have the remote control in jail.
I had a black and white TV in my room, but you know what? I didn't even watch it. There was always something.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
There was always something. There's always something, and I don't understand it. So last week, Lee and I have this podcast, and basically we get together Monday and Wednesdays, and 6 out of 10 times, I leave on Thursday mornings.
Right.
And I don't care if Lee lights himself on fucking 5 for those Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I get back Sunday, and listen, man, I'm a Cuban fucking Jew. I don't know what the fuck people are talking about. I get the first flight out because there's no terrorism at the airport.
How many times we fly together?
We fly together, and that flight is never fucking delayed. So I get home, my wife and baby, I got a 3-year-old, they're at church. I wait for him to come back. I play with the baby. Then when the baby goes down, I take a nap. Well, when I get up and after the hugs and the kisses and we eat the family dinner, my mind is already focused on Monday morning. I really don't give a fuck about, unless Omaha, when was that show when we were kids?
Mutual of Omaha.
Mutual of Omaha was on.
Yeah, right.
Or Lawrence Welk. I really don't give a fuck about life. I'm worried about my Monday, you know? And it's funny that Lee and I have had a discussions. And I go, Lee, on Sunday nights, when I call you, you know, I'm asking you questions. I'm lining the fucking week up. Well, last weekend, Lee held on to his girlfriend on Sunday because it was Columbus Day, and I couldn't really talk to him.
Right.
And I had to say to Lee like Tuesday, Lee, from now on Sundays, I don't give a fuck what holiday it is. We only work like 3 nights here. You got to be attentive because I can't really talk to him when somebody's in the room. It's fucking rude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's got some involvement with her, and I got to call him up to ask him a question about the computer, or it's kind of weird.
The man's got class. You realize?
Well, I can tell when somebody's there. It doesn't take a fucking G. It's like I don't pick up the fucking phone in the daytime because I got a 3-year-old in front of me.
Right.
You ever call somebody who's got a kid and they want to tell you a story and they're talking to you and the kid at the same time, and you finally go, listen, call me when the kid fucking leaves. Because I can't, so I don't pick up the fucking phone because I don't want to do that to people.
Right.
You always got to plan ahead. You know, there's people you go, listen, I got to go.
You're talking.
Well, hold on, let me take, no, there's nothing. We're from New York, I got to go. Bam. That's it. The kid's fucking outside yelling, you know. I'm the same way. That's why I have that problem, because if the kid's around, as soon as the phone rings, she wants to have a conversation with you. They want all your attention. They want all your attention. The same thing when you're watching the TV with a woman and some guy keeps calling you to ask you a question. They want all your attention. You're watching a movie together. This is my favorite movie. This is my favorite part. This is where he proposes. I don't give a fuck. I'm trying to make a living, cocksuck. I'm trying to bring an envelope home. I don't give a fuck about your movie.
Well, the thing, you know, you get back to the 24/7 aspects of it. When I say it's not easy, we've worked very hard and respectfully in what we do, as everybody does out there. There are moments when it's easy, sure, because you're catered to that. I mean, you're entitled to that, absolutely. But it does take an effort, and like you said, as soon as you get home, and I do the same thing, I'm already plotting and planning and everything I got to do that week.
5 o'clock,
Yeah,
everybody
exactly.
go home. Everybody takes a nap.
Yeah.
We hug. Once I get up and we eat dinner, it's over. I excuse myself.
I might wait a little longer. But I'm with
My
you.
wife plays, the baby plays the computer. I'm right there, and I'm on the computer already setting up the week, looking at my schedule, making calls. Who's on the podcast? Who's not? What are the sponsors for the week? Who's this? Oh, you got, you know, this is. That's why I don't like working Sundays. People always say, "Well, you're a prima donna." You don't know. I knew when I was featuring, I hated working Sundays. I didn't see the point of doing a show for 80 people who didn't want to fucking be there.
Right.
You know, Sundays is family day in the summer, and in the winter it's football. I got to get up after a football game. I've been eating pretzels and fucking Lipton onion dip all day. I'm farting like a fucking, you know, I got gas mask coming out of my ass.
Am I in danger of this tonight? I mean, what'd you guys have for dinner? Just give me the warning now, okay?
No.
Oh, no.
I'm kidding.
But
No, we're just saying that it's who wants to do something on a Sunday when I could do 30 things in my house on a Sunday night?
Listen.
When you do comedy, they want you to work. Why don't you work Sunday night for 80 people to have you there for what? And then you can't even catch the fucking red eye. You're stuck there all day. Your family's eating at home by themselves, and you're stuck there. The action is here Monday morning. I want to be here Monday morning.
Yeah, you got to weigh each offer that comes in. I'm sure you turn down a lot of offers, but you know, you got to weigh them many ways. A, the money. A, is this my thing? You know, am I going to feel good about this? Because I'm sure, like me, you've done stuff that you didn't really want to be.
No.
And then pick what's right for you, and you know, just put it all together in the best way. This is about you. It's like your focus, as you do so well, as any artist has to do. When I say an artist, there's all different kinds of artists. You're an artist, and what you do, you're an artist, and it's all about what sets and works for you. Because, like you said, walking to that octagon, you know, it's the loneliest sport in the world, the one-man fighter. But I mean, who's going to fill in for you, Joey? You got to fill in for Joey. If Joey's sick, you got to fill in for Joey. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, last week I had to go on stage with fucking Vertigo.
How the frick do you go on stage with Vertigo? How do you do that?
There was 10,000 people, and I'm up there the second night in Irvine Meadows.
Are you inclined to get vertigo?
No,
Why
I
would
had
you
a
get that?
backache, and I fucking started eating those leaves because I mixed
Okay, now the truth comes out.
Yeah, no, I had this back pain, and I don't have time to be fucking sick. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like you.
Don't you look on the back of the package? It says, you know, two treats acrophobia, 3 treats vertigo. You know, like,
No. What I do is with Aleve, Advil. I'm an old pot smoker, so I have a problem with reefer. I can't smoke the same reefer. You know how people buy a pound of weed and smoke it for a year? I can't do that. I can't smoke the same weed 2 days. I do the same thing with pain pills, like not pain pills, pharmaceuticals, but Aleve, Tylenol.
Yeah, none of
and
that
Advil.
none of that rough stuff. Though.
No.
Yeah, none of the Octane stuff.
So something happened. I started eating those, and I started, when you get to a certain age, you pee at night. So after a certain age, you start after a certain time, you start looking at your...
saying anything?
I pee at night all the time.
Oh, you do pee at night all the time? Wait till you pee every hour on the fucking hour.
Wait a second. Do you ever have that moment when you wake up to pee and you just don't want to get out of bed? And you're telling yourself you can hold it. You know it'll be okay till the next 4 hours so your alarm goes off.
And you pee yourself. No. It's
no.
horrible.
That audience, that hasn't happened. Joey, I think he's got a story for us.
Horrible that, so sometimes I don't drink water at night. Well, one of those nights where I didn't drink water, they fucked up my kidneys. I went to acupuncture. She moved the energy, and it became vertigo. So it would hit me like 10 minutes before I got to fucking Irvine Meadows the one night it hit me on stage, the one night it hit me when I was laying in bed. Beat that one. And then that Monday it went away. So I'm cool with that.
How long does it last?
10 seconds, 15 seconds. But it's the worst 15 seconds of your fucking life.
And you were just walked out on stage or in the middle of your act?
I'm in the middle of my act, and I shifted, and all of a sudden the room just went...
Did you play with it when you came out of it? Did you play with it with the audience?
I just stood there like I was the fucking deer in headlights, and I kept doing my joke. I kept breathing out of my nose, kept breathing. I left my hand out like I was surfing to be cute, but I wasn't being cute. I was balancing myself, and so that was the deal.
You know what? The audience, they probably thought it was all part of the bit.
No, they didn't even know.
They had no idea.
I didn't fall over. No, I didn't pull a Beyonce or a Madonna and fall everywhere.
Have you ever had to cancel a show, Bruce?
No, I've had no, I never have. As a matter of fact, up until about 3 years ago, or maybe I don't know, it could be longer. I'm really lousy with time. It's just time flies by so fast, it blows me away. So, answer your question, no, I've never canceled. I've been canceled on, but I've never canceled a show. I've done a show with 104-degree temperature where I was so dehydrated by the end of the show, the paramedics wanted to send me to the hospital to, whatever. But I look at the fighters, in case of those shows, I look at the fighters and I just I don't care what I have. But, my back's out. I blow the ACL on my knee, and I've got to do 3 shows in a row, starting the very next day, with one leg. And it doesn't matter. These guys and girls, ladies and men are fighting. They're fighting. So I just think, hey, I can get through this. I can always get through it. What's the old adage, Joey? The show must go on. Yeah. Nobody needs to know how we feel. We're just there to do our jobs.
My mom used to have this thing, you couldn't. In my house when I was growing up, when I got out of Catholic school, my mom and I had a deal. And her deal was, listen, if you're sick, just do me a favor, go to school. If you puke at school, I'll come get you and take you for food and take you home and take care of you. But you just can't lurk around here. And that always stayed with me. People who just stay home. You can't stay home. You got to do something. I mean, listen, you can't go to an office when you work in an office with the fucking flu or you're coughing. You're going to get everybody fucking sick. You know what I'm saying?
People don't think about it. They do it, and that's why people get sick.
Yeah, that's why people get sick throughout the office. But, if you work outside or if you work in a fucking truck and you're by yourself in that truck, you go to work until you can fucking pass. I come from a different whatever than most people. I didn't have insurance till I moved to L.A. You were years ago.
I was say you were 40 or no, you
33,
were like 33, yeah.
When I moved, I had no insurance. I used to take my own teeth out with wrenches and shit. with Jack Daniels and the Grandma Blow.
Can we just talk about that for a second, Joey?
Can you fucking believe
Why the frig would you do something like that?
Because
what was the reason for that?
I hated fucking dentists. I hated.
Were you higher than a kitty or what?
No, I would be, I would be on the road doing comedy, and I'd get a toothache, and after a week I couldn't take it no more, and I'd go, fuck it. I'd go to Kmart, and I'd buy a wrench and a couple airplane bottles, and I'd get a fucking half gram of some shit in Michigan, and I'd rub it on the gum, and then I get infected, and I got an abscess. Oh, you have no fucking idea. For years, I had no insurance.
So just tell me, did you do this more than once?
Twice.
And did it F up each time?
Years later. One time it just broke and the bone was still in there. And it was just an abscess. So if people came around me that I hated, I could squirt it. It would fill over here, the little side. And I would go, and it would jump on people's shirt and shit. And if you smelled it smelled like fucking Katrina feet or something. It just...
So wait, you're saying you didn't go to the hospital or the dentist after you broke it off in your gum?
You know how people say, if you have an abscess, you're going to die? I walked around like for 5 fucking years.
Well, okay, slow down.
Okay.
To your audience, of which a lot of them, I'm sure, are half stoned off their minds right now, let's not preach the fact that the abscess, you can walk around with it for 5 years. I don't think you want to give out that kind of
guidance. I had chlamydia for like 8 years. I had leakage out of my dick for like 8 or 9 years. I didn't give a fuck.
Did these years
when I was younger?
What do you think? What are your choices? You got gonorrhea, you got urethritis, which is a urinary infection. Most men think they got the clap when they get it because it's the same thing, but it's just a urinary infection. You probably just had a constant urinary infection.
Who the fuck knows? It didn't.
No, I take that back. You probably had every friggin' STD.
It didn't bother me at all. You know what? Once you drink that Hudson River water, you're good for life.
Yeah, you don't even have to have sex after that. You got it all. It's like one-stop shop.
I tell people, we were down there one time. Me, this kid Mike Gaskins, and this crazy kid Johnny Lopez. When I was a kid, there was this family, the Lopez's. Let me tell you how crazy they were. The mother was dying of cancer, and she didn't want the pain pills. She gave them to the boys to sell. And what they basically were like fucking Tumenols that would kill a mule. They were like SP54s or something. Like we were doing Quaaludes that were the 714 Express. 714s. Love biscuits. But Tumenols were these fucking blue and white pills that your world would end. It would just end. Like it was just a complete. Like he would tell you, don't drink with this, don't do nothing. We were kids. He would sell them for like $30 a piece.
That long ago?
The mother was dying of cancer. She didn't give a fuck if she died. She wanted blow. So they sold the pills for coke. No, tremendous. We got to do a story on this family.
Is that like buying up?
Did they what?
Is that like buying up?
I don't know.
Get some pills, get your blow.
They're still alive.
I bought up.
They're still alive. But she used to sell fucking her Tumenols. And those things would fucking kill you. I would eat like a half. And I'd be on fire. You go to bed, wake up, you're still fucking rocked when you wake up. That's craziness.
I got to say, pain pills, I refuse them. There's one big reason. They stop you up like Mount Olympus.
You can't.
But aside from that, like when I had my first ACO, when I had that operation, woke up the next morning, it's like they're giving me all these pills, and actually the pain was not that bad. So I stopped the Oxy or whatever they gave me at the time. I just threw it away. I said, I hate this stuff.
Sometimes
I've seen too many people get hurt on that stuff bad.
Sometimes, I got to be honest with you, sometimes when you have surgery, as a human being, you don't know what to really expect.
No, you don't.
So the first couple days, you just feel something, and you take the pain pill, the amount they tell you, and then let's say you forget one time.
Not that bad.
And it's not that bad.
No.
And you're like, why am I taking this? Now, if like this last surgery I had, I always prepare for a surgery. Once you have a surgery,
just tell me how you
prepare. Once you have a surgery, you understand the preparation. You hear people tell you, and you're like, "Fuck this guy! I'm not gonna listen to him. He don't know what he's talking about." But then, when you're in a toilet and you're 10 days in without taking a shit, and you're sitting there and you wish your asshole would just rip open, and you're crying and you're thinking you have to go to the hospital.
10 days?
And you got to stick a finger up your asshole and push.
You're like a rock
and start eating cereal. Yeah, because it's now you learn. So that's where the preparation goes in. So they come to you, Lisa.
Not just preparation H, the preparation.
No. Yeah. That's what preparation. Once that happens to you, and you finish that pain medication, and you don't fucking take care of yourself, after that fucking prescription wears off, first off, if you take that full medication of whatever they give you, I'm going to tell you something as a friend, and you know I'm not lying to you.
I know it.
It's psychological abuse for 4 days. Once you get off that
There's a withdrawal factor.
Excuse me, there's a withdrawal factor, and you start. I'm not going to say you get suicidal. I don't want people to say I said I got suicidal. I'm just telling you that I didn't feel how I usually felt.
And were you taking them all day?
No, I was taking them not knowingly. It's until you don't take them and you go, hey, oh, I didn't take this for 6 hours. I feel good.
So we're also geared to stimulate.
We're also geared
for pain. The doctors do their job. They gear us. We think it. You think, oh, I got to take the pain pills. Then all of a sudden, it's just a graduating return. You take the pain pills when maybe you do have the pain, but it's not the same. A couple days later, you're taking the same dosage for like 5.
Well, wait a second. This is what I don't understand. Listen, Mr. Buffer. From having conversations with other patients, the pain's not going to be that bad. Tylenol PM or Tylenol extra strength will do. But in case I gave you a prescription, you know what? Why are you doing that? I never understood that. Why don't you tell me that there'll be a prescription available to you for 72 hours only at CVS if you need it after the surgery? I like that they give you the pill before it so you have it when you get home, so you don't have to leave the fucking house when you're in pain or whatever.
There's another way to do it. Give them a prescription for if they need it, and give them a 2-day dose just to take home in case they really do need it, and that gives them the time to call in the prescription.
There you go.
Instead of, I had a situation where I came home and they pulled one of the rear teeth. Right, the painkiller had not gotten to my house yet, and I was a kid. I'll never forget this, and I literally was grabbing the side of my bed. The pain was so crazy, for what I was going through, and I had to wait that 2-hour period until finally they called in the prescription to get it. It just didn't work. But I had been sent home with 1 or 2 and waited and then had the prescription in my hand to buy more. Because when those 2 are gone, they're gone.
They're gone.
Yeah. And then you're either that guy or girl that's going to go, well, it'd be cool to have them around. Maybe I'll sell them to my friends. Or you're going to have that guy or the girl that's going to like, hey, I don't need this scrap, but I got it. If I need it, I got it. It's all about the individual.
I keep it like I had a
and not about the sorry
no problem.
Not the individual. It's just that would be more interesting. But getting back to my point is, pharmaceutical companies help pretty much help. When I say help, I don't know if it's help, but run this country. Money. Those doctors are geared to prescribe drugs. What's the difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist? A psychiatrist can prescribe drugs. You can still go talk to somebody, sit on a couch, and pay them $350 an hour to listen, which is what they do, and you're working out your own problems, hopefully. But one guy can give you the scripts. That's how it comes down to financial too. At the same time, they're geared for it. Never changed. It's their MO.
I've never understood the pain pills because I've never done them, but I had some friends who did, and the way they described it, it just said they made them feel itchy and anxious, and that just didn't sound...
That depends on the individual, and that depends on what they're taking. That's not going to be the same for everybody. Maybe the same for them.
Right, that's true.
The pain pills don't... another misnomer, too, some people think is that they got a gashing wound and it's hurting. It's like that pain pill's sending all the signals right here so that, you don't hurt here. No, it's in here. It's affecting the portion of your brain that registers pain. I can't talk about it like I'm knowledgeable about it because I'm not. I just know in theory what they do. And then... they're one of the hardest, if not the hardest things to get off if you become addicted. Chevy Chase, he was addicted to pain pills for his back, all those pratfalls he took on Saturday Night Live. He's got issues right now, and they're weighing it back to all that. So
no, listen. Let me tell you about my first surgery. Knock on wood, I never copped to no surgery until I'm about maybe 10 years ago. 12 years, maybe 10, 12 years.
That's a lot. That's when you last
I'm
had
about
surgery.
40. The first time I ever have surgery.
Okay.
I got this fucking lump coming out of my neck.
Hunchback style?
Yeah, like out of this muscle right here. And I'm not saying nothing. You know me, I'm a diehard. I'm scared of needles. If I'm going to die, fuck it, I'll die like a soldier and shit. And every time I get excited, this lump would come out. Tremendous. I'd be on stage yelling, "You cocksucker, Chino XL, fuck you." And when I get off, the lump would be elevated, my neck would be red. Okay. I finally showed my wife. She gets pissed off. She goes, "You got to go to the fucking doctor." I go to the doctor.
How long was it going on for?
Maybe 4 months. I go to the doctor.
Did it get bigger and bigger?
Yeah, it was getting bigger and bigger.
It's amazing she hasn't killed you by now.
So now I go to the doctor. They test it. It's not cancer, but they got to get it out.
Yeah.
So the guy talks to me. So you know me. I'm honest, Joe. I go, "Listen, doc, I like to smoke pot. I like to snort blow. What do you know?" And he goes, "Listen, smoke pot for like 2 weeks out, but the coke, give it a break right now. Well, like 60 days out. I'd rather you not do it. And I go, "Okay." I say, "Fuck it. I'm making an 8 ball and do a going away party from coke." You know what I'm saying, right? You know how you do it. You always got to have one last bon voyage.
You want to go out big.
Banging, right? So I fucking get the 8 ball or whatever I got. I don't know. I may be exaggerating. And I have my last cocaine run, and I smoked 8 packs of cigarettes. And, oh, yeah, I jerk off 80 times. The whole fucking thing. And 3 days later, I would always go 3 days. 3 days is the most I could stay clean. And I got a week out of the fucking surgery in Bruce Buffer. And I'm still snorting up a storm. A week out of the surgery.
And he wanted 60 days.
He wanted 60 days.
He wanted 60 days before he went in the hospital.
Now,
yeah.
So he's like, he don't know nothing. I'm 3 days out. I go, fuck it, I'll quit 3 days before the surgery. Here I am 2 days before the surgery, snorting up a storm. So finally I stay off it the one night, and I stay off it the night before the surgery. Now, the night, I'm a fucking old school junkie at this time. The night before the surgery, I got everything prepared. I swing over. I give the coke dealer $100. I tell the weed guy to have everything ready for me at the weed store. I'm having surgery at 6 in the morning. I'll never forget this, Bruce Buff. I fucking go home, go to sleep, wake up, go take the fat ball out of my neck. I wake up in recovery. I see all these Filipinos everywhere. I haven't snorted in 3 fucking days. You know what I was going through at this point?
I can imagine.
All I was holding out for was this fucking fat ball on my neck.
That's all, yeah.
I asked my wife, what's going on? She's like, they want you to rest here for like 4 or 5 hours. I'm like, 4 or 5 hours? Fuck you. Listen to me. I got 350s, strategic. 4 or 5 50s will buy you out of any hospital in America, right? Yeah. 4 50s, $50 bills, not 20s. They don't work. 100 works anyway. 100 works on a blind man, but a 50 is good enough. I got 3 $50 bills. I knew that would get me to the door. You know what I'm saying? I knew that would get me to the door. I wake up. I'm naked. I got the fucking robe with my ass out. My wife's looking at me, and my wife, poor my wife, she don't get high. But she knows what I'm going through at this time.
Of course, she knows everything about you.
And she's not married to me at the time, but we've been together for fucking 5, 6 years.
She knows everything about you.
So the next thing you know, I fucking pull the intravenous out of my arm. You know me, dog. But I see a little black dude with a wheelchair. Come here. I go, I got my clothes next to me. I pull a 50. I put it in his hand. I go, dog, get me out of here. Dog, let's do it. This motherfucker sits me down. I got the intravenous, but I still got another tube in me for some reason.
Right.
We're ripping it out. The nurse, stop it. The thing's going off. The doctor dog, I got myself out of there. It was one of the most embarrassing things I ever did. I gave the guy $100. My poor wife was pale, like she knew something was up. We get in the car. I tell her, you got to stop at the weed store. She's like, why? Why do you need marijuana? I go, for my fucking pain. They already had a bag waiting for me. And then I made her stop at a friend's house to get a book he bought for me. But she didn't know it was the coke dealer.
Right.
So I go, hold on. Here I am with the robe, the thing around my arm.
Oh, you're walking in like that?
Into the coke dealer's house with the fucking bracelet on. I'm an animal. With a thing on my arm. I look at the guy that Robert De Niro shot in Taxi in the neck.
Yeah.
This is him when he got out of the hospital. I got a bandage on my neck. This is an embarrassing story, Barbara. I walk in the coke dealer's house. I get whatever, half 8 ball. I go home. The surgery was at 6 in the morning. It's 11 o'clock. It's 11 in the morning. I'm still under the anesthesia. I'm still hearing people yelling and getting stabbed and screaming. I go back to the apartment. I'm sitting there maybe an hour. And I said, fuck this. I got to do a blast. I did a fucking blast of coke, and I popped a stitch. I could feel the blood going.
I was actually going to ask you that.
Jesus Christ.
Of course you did.
That's how disgusting I was. Do you understand me? Like, when I think of those, like, people say to you, how do you feel? Let me tell you how bad I feel. Let me tell you a story that's going to make you feel really fucking bad about me. And I'll never forget that my wife comes in the living room. She says, are you bleeding? And I go, no. I just poked myself with them. And my wife was going to fucking kill me. She couldn't tell I was coked up because I only did 2 bumps, and by that time I was like 20 minutes in.
You sure she couldn't tell? They usually
No, because I didn't do it in front of my wife.
Right, okay.
I never did it in the daytime, and I only did it when she was in bed.
See, it's amazing how you do something that is done with with little or no discipline, but you're so disciplined about how you do it.
Oh my God, I didn't want the.
That makes sense.
Very seldom would you see me at the Comedy Store with a blast. Because I wouldn't do it until I got off stage.
I would think I know a lot of comics and a lot of people in showbiz, whatever, blow themselves up before going on stage, but did it make you perform better or make you perform worse?
For me, when I first got into comedy in 1991, St. Patty's Day 1992, I was working with a comic named Troy Baxley, and I know Troy was a little crazy. And I forget who the feature actor was. I was the MC, and I bought like a gram of coke. And thank God, I did like 2 lines, and I went up on stage, and I died. And I never did it again. But
there you go.
It got to the point where if you did it the night before, you follow me?
Yeah.
And went on stage. It's like if you had a big show on a Saturday, but you went on Friday and got blasted till about 3, ate some pussy, did like an 8 ball. When you got up Monday, when you're announcing the names, You're not really connected.
Well, because if I didn't get up till Monday and I started announcing the names, I wouldn't be connected. I would have been fired Saturday for missing the show.
Well, no.
I'm like a nun the night before a fight.
No, you have to be. That's what I'm saying. And a lot of people don't understand that. Everybody remembers Guns N' Roses in the beginning when they were doing the American awards, nodding, and everybody was on heroin.
Yeah.
Everybody thought that was cool. And they don't know that after 1 year, they look at that shit and they go, I'm not doing that no more. And they become musicians. They evolve. With comedy was the same thing. Towards the end of I would get fucking drunk on stage knowing I had a package waiting for me somewhere.
Right.
Because I would never drink unless I knew for a fact the package was waiting somewhere.
Right.
I didn't like alcohol. I don't like alcohol.
Again, discipline. You have great discipline when you put it
was
to work.
it's like Lee calls me, calculated. I did cocaine, calculated.
Yeah.
When I went on the road with Rogan hates drugs so much, especially cocaine, that I
hate cocaine.
That I would be so cool, even if I had it in my pocket, I'd play with Joe until the end of the show, and all of a sudden I'd disappear. And Joe knew. He wouldn't ask the next day. He would be disappointed, but it was what I would do. I would disappear. I wouldn't make an embarrassment. I wouldn't go to the bar and talk to people with my jaw going. No. I think in the 20 years I know Joe saw me one time coked up because he told me he wasn't going out. So I got all blasted at the store, and there he was. He showed up. He goes, no, I changed my mind. I'm like, fuck. Fuck. And he's like, get in the car with me. We went to do comedy somewhere. And in the car, I was out of my fucking mind. I couldn't even look at him.
Could he tell right away?
He knew. He's not stupid. He grew up in a fucking pool hall.
Yeah.
So that's fucked up. That's the surgery story. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's one of those one things you just didn't want to happen.
No
way. You did not want
I
that to
thought
happen.
when I went to that doctor and he goes, yeah, don't get high for 60 days. I'm like, you know what? I could do that with my eyes closed. Fuck. I was so buried in it at that time, and I did not know. I had no knowledge.
So when did you realize that there was a problem you had to deal with? I mean, when did you finally realize that?
I had realized that this is 2006.
And what was your...
This is January of 2006. Let me tell you what really happened.
Yeah, that moment when you knew.
Let me tell you what, it was like all right, I got locked up. Okay, so I started in 79. I quit when I got locked up. No, I quit in 85. I quit for a year and a half. And then I did it again, and I got locked up. And an hour after I got locked up, I snorted coke. Straight. Like, I came to a conclusion that, you know what? I'm going to do this 2-3 nights a week. This is just who I am. I'm not going to fight it. I'm not going to feel guilty no more. I'm not going to I'm not going to do it 8 nights a week. I'm going to become a comedian. But my thing will be, instead of going and shooting pool, instead of going and play poker, instead of having underwear, I stopped buying underwear. Instead of, you just sacrifice certain things. This is what I'll do. I'll do cocaine and I'll smoke marijuana. I don't want to date nobody. I'm not going to buy nobody dinner for those broads. I'm not buying you dinner. We're going to meet doing blow. We're going to do a gram of blow. I'm going to eat your pussy. You're going to lick my nutsack.
On one aspect, think of all the time you saved.
What's that?
Think of all the time you saved.
Yeah. No. My relationships were all...
Dates went from 5 hours down to a 90-minute period.
90-minute period at night. We woke up. I'll call you next Monday. There was no Monday. You know what I'm saying? I was already on a Greyhound bus going to the next city. What were you saying, Lee? I'm sorry.
During those 60 days, like when you were supposed to be not doing coke, each night, each day, would you pretend you weren't going to do it? Not pretend, but think you weren't going to do it, and then at night you'd falter?
There was some days that I didn't even think about it until 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock at night, I get this anxiety and this pain in my bones.
Well, that was the time you started anyway, right?
No, that's the time that my mind would start playing tricks with me to go get it. And then once I get it, I'd hold on to it till I did comedy. And once I got off stage, I was showing Lee the route last night. Because in those days, my route was easy. 9 out of 10 of my shows were at the Comedy Store. So I wouldn't pick up cocaine till I was done at the Comedy Store. Now, I lived in Schrader. Let me see. I lived on 1440 North Schrader. That's by Hollywood and Vine, okay? The Comedy Store is 2 blocks west of Fairfax, or 3 or 4 blocks west. It really doesn't fucking matter.
Right.
Okay? So I had 2 spots in those days. I had a Mexican restaurant across from the Guitar Center,
I've eaten there.
Right. And then I had an isolated guy over by Ralph's behind there. So it was all on the way home. I even bought Coke calculated. I even bought Coke economically. You know what I'm saying? I knew these guys in Silver Lake that had Coke right from the fucking Colombians off the chip.
Yeah.
Nobody spoke English, the whole thing. But that meant I had to go all the way to Silver Lake and back from Silver Lake with cocaine in your car. I had another dealer that I went to only after 2. He was homeless. Tremendous.
A dealer who's homeless.
Tremendous. Western and Sunset.
You sure it was good shit?
Oh my fucking God. And listen to how crafty this motherfucker was. He lived behind the Burger King there on Western. By now they changed it into something. This is 15 years ago. All you had to do was drive on Sunset, make the right or the left, and then drive back down and make that right, and all of a sudden you hear like somebody chasing a car, and it'd be him. It was hysterical.
That's funny.
He'd chase the car. He'd pull up to the car, get it, Wake, get it. And before you said anything, he would have a Coke rock, and he'd put it in your nose to make sure you weren't a cop.
Isn't that, well, let's say you're a cop, and he sticks it in your nose. Isn't that assault?
Who the fuck knows?
He's homeless already.
He would put a Coke rock in your nose to make sure you weren't a cop. Then he'd take your order. You gave him the cash. He gave you a Coke rock, no envelope, no bindle, no nothing. Just put it in your hand. You put it in the center compartment and drove back off on Sunset like nothing happened.
You didn't pay for the first Coke rock up the nose, right? That was the
No,
freebie.
that was on the
Yeah,
house.
that was the taste. Okay.
That was on the house.
You know, you bring back something I remember. It's kind of like 6 degrees of separation. I don't have a cocaine story for you, but I got a comedy story for you. In Malibu, where I grew up, I moved there when I was 15 from Philadelphia, right? So when I had, probably I was like 21. And I'd already started my first company, and I was living in Malibu. And during the rains after the fires, when there's a big fire, it loosens the soil. The roots have to grow, and the soil doesn't stay strong. So when the rains came, the mudslides hit, and then the hill came down, and you couldn't get in or out of Malibu on the Coast Highway. So I lived. My dad had a business contact that was the head of the Hyatt House at the time, next to the Comedy Store. They used to call it the Riot House because that's where
Led Zeppelin.
Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, the TVs out the windows, all those stories were all that place. And I lived there for a month. And this was back, I'm talking like 1982, right? 81. And when I'd see all the comics I used to see back there, because I would go almost every friggin' night. I loved getting back from work unless I was chilling. I used to go to the Westwood Comedy Store and watch David Letterman host every night during the week. And that was my Friday date night. But here to go there and, God, I can't begin to tell you the comics I saw was amazing. And it was great just to go from my place to the Comedy Store, see a great 2-hour session, go out somewhere and laugh. And I still say, when you go out on a date with a girl, take her to dinner, whatever, guys, one of the greatest things you can do with a girl, because girls just love to laugh. That's when guys have game or they don't. Girls love to laugh, right? Comedy Store, comedy shop, and it's really a good one. It's a great date. It's a great date.
Can you imagine, like, if you, instead of going to a bar like Cheers, you just went to the Comedy Store right now, and you were a cool guy.
Yeah.
And you became friends with the comics.
That's what I did.
Smoked pot
That's
with
what I
them.
did.
And
I didn't say it that, but that's what I did.
You bring a fucking date.
Oh.
And you start talking to like Chris D'Elia, like you know him for a little while, and Chris is nice to you because we're cordial to you. We'll talk to you for 10, 15 minutes. I mean, I'll talk to you. If you're very nice and not fucking retarded, I'll talk to you.
You know who you know.
Yeah, we know who the fuck we're talking to. So it's really cool. It's really cool. I know it would impress the shit out of me if I was a female or a woman.
Well, it's also the closing ratio it gives you.
Yeah,
you know,
I would be really impressed if I was a girl and you took me there and you'd say hello and shit. You know,
nice dinner. She's laughed all night, and then I'm telling you, you're gonna go home with.
I've seen some really interesting people hanging out at the Comedy Store. Like my first.
It's a great. Is it still as much fun to hang out now as it was 10, 12 years ago though? Is there a difference? Do you notice a difference the way comics come and go?
I see the young guys that are there.
That's what I'm talking about.
Having a great time. I'm a fucking relic and a dinosaur.
Oh, you know that they all look up to you walking by, Joey. Come on, they're like this.
It's not about that. It's when I'm there, I feel like I'm really fucking old. Listen, when I was 25 and I went to a club, I already felt old, and I felt it. Like, well, I don't belong fucking here. Mm-hmm. You know, so when I go to the Comedy Store now, it's not like I drink. It's not like I do blow. Mm-hmm. I get there early. I talk to the bartender. I talk to the waitresses. Lee's back there with bullshit. Another comedian with bullshit. Then we go to the parking lot, we bullshit, then we go home.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. I mean, but when I was there my first 5 or 6 years, Jesus Christ, it was home. It was home. And as fucked up as it was home.
Was Missy Short? Missy Short.
Yeah,
right?
she was there those years.
Did you get along with her? Did you meet her? How did she treat her comics? I hear she was really good to them.
Well, listen, man. She liked her people, and she didn't like people. It was like anything else.
She's a tough girl.
And just the rumors that you hear, at one point it went to her head, and there were people who weren't happy with it. But it was a fucking comedy store. It was the home of Richard Pryor. It was the home of fucking Dice Clay. It was the home of Sam Kinison.
Let me tell you something. I saw Andrew Dice Clay when he first came out here to L.A., and he wasn't the Andrew Dice Clay we know and as big as he got. No. And it was only a short time later that I'm standing in the Forum, right, in L.A., sold out, right, looking there and sitting in my seat afterwards, just looking out, sold out Andrew Dice Clay. Remember, he used to fill like a 10, 12,000 seat arena. It was crazy. You know, and I love I love how he's traveling around now. He's on the road all the time. I see the TV show.
The TV show got picked up.
It did get picked up?
Got picked up for another second season. I'm really happy for him, man.
Hey, the man can act.
Listen, out of all those fucking comics that got picked last year, nobody's show got picked up. I read for 5 comedy pilots, and Andrew Dice Clay's got picked up.
Really?
That's it.
Good for him.
Yeah, I'm really happy for him.
Good for him.
I'm really happy.
You said it earlier. Look, it's hard getting jobs. It's hard. The business is so hard. It is. If you're not tough, you shouldn't be even thinking about this business, especially your business.
I don't think about the acting side at all anymore. I know there's a job on the horizon somewhere because you're here.
You're going to get a call.
You'll always get a call. You always get a
call.
call. But as far as booking one, I went in for a role 2 weeks ago that the motherfucker wrote for me. And I couldn't fucking, like, not really, but as I was reading it, I'm like, this is me. This is me from me. Like, I know her. The lady who cast it, she put me in 4 other pilots. She wouldn't call me in if there wasn't something there.
Yeah, but there's something about casting directors when I've gone, for the ones that I've gone for and stuff, and you walk out and you think you did a great job, especially it's like a commercial for an announcer, like somebody, just an announcer, whatever. You walk in, you walk out, hey, that's like piece of cake, do the back man. You never know what they're looking for. I think they're extremely unique in what they do. Think about it, sitting there seeing hundreds a day.
Well, this is the problem that people think. It's not what they do. It's that she's the voice piece,
right,
for the 4 people that are sitting behind her. So, let's say we both go in for the part of Gino in the new fucking Sinatra movie, right?
He's still kicking, huh? Okay. Huh? I'm kidding. You mean the one made about Sinatra? Go ahead.
Yeah, they're always making a movie about something. They're trying to make Gotti out of fucking, what's his name now? That's never going to go because they can't get financing.
Who got the part to play? Travolta.
Travolta, but this is 5 years now. They're trying to get financing. They forgot that nobody even knows who John Gotti is anymore.
Not anymore?
Not anymore. These millennials, as they call them, they don't know who John Gotti is. So there's a part of the role for Gino. The guy is from Brooklyn, okay? Mm-hmm. You're from Brooklyn, okay? I'm from fucking Jersey. And you can hear it that I'm from Jersey. You know what, man? We both go in there. We both do a good job. Mm-hmm. And then they start looking at weird stuff. What other movies did you do? What relationship you have with the other 4 fucking people, I mean, there's so many variables when you get a film. There's so many fucking variables. Mm-hmm. If this guy gets the role, then we'll give it to Bruce.
Oh, yeah.
But if this guy doesn't get the role, then it wouldn't look good with Bruce. I mean, there's so many fucking variables. But she's the mouthpiece. Her job is to deliver who did well in the room, which is 3 or 4 people. And their job is to figure out who to fucking hire. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. It's East meets West. So I never take it personally with a casting director.
No, you can't.
Never. Since day one. I went through levels like everybody else. The first fucking 15 auditions you go through craziness to see if you get them or not. Then you learn. Then the next 15, you learn how to be cool, and you have it together. Like, you don't show people. You're upset that you didn't or got something. But then the next, like, I'm to the point now when I walk out of the room, it's over. Yeah. It's over. And if Bruce Buffer calls me and goes, hey, Joey, what's up? I just walked out of Fox. I went in for a pilot. That's exciting.
It's my dad always said, win like you used to, lose like it doesn't bother you. You got to walk in there, and if you can't handle rejection in this business, come on. forget about it. Okay, rejection is such a key factor, but you just got to keep punching, man.
Well, okay. I gotta talk to you because I know it's
and learning how to get better at your auditions.
I know it's burning a hole in your pocket when we want to talk about. The other day, I'm watching this. It's Saturday, so Friday night. On Friday night, I get back to my hotel room at fucking, and I know I don't want to talk about this shit, but just because my uncle fucking Bruce wanted to talk about it, we'll talk about it for a few minutes because it entangles another word that you said. What was the word called that you said something about doing it again tomorrow, losing with grace?
Winning like you're used to it and losing like it doesn't bother you. Win like you're used to it, lose like it doesn't bother you.
You know, and I know people don't want to hear what I'm about to tell you, but I'm telling you from a different perspective. I don't know what's going on. I have felonies, so I can't vote. So it don't matter to me. I grew up in North Hudson, New Jersey, where every man either leaves in a wheelbarrow or in a fucking felony. It doesn't really fucking matter. So politics don't affect me because I know I still got to get up in the morning and show somebody a gun and just to get mine. So it doesn't. For some people, it's conversation. It's an identity in this country to be able to go to Starbucks and to be knowledgeable of fucking politics and people look at you weird. I don't pay attention to it. So Friday night I get home and he's talking about grabbing people's pussies. Now, Saturday morning I wake up, I go eat breakfast, I call Lee, I turn the TV on, and what's on the fucking TV? This is how crazy the media is. What do you think is on the fucking TV?
I have no idea.
What killed the USFL? And I click the fucking button. I swear to my mother's grave, and it couldn't be written better. So every channel's got I Hate Trump now.
Oh.
And I put on fucking the ESPN 30 for 30, and there's the first line out of the guy's mouth is like, Trump's ego ruined the USFL. And like they went from 30 people talking about Trump. Now, for an hour, I turned it off. I had to leave. I went and smoked a joint. But I thought about something.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being with Ari at a UFC event and seeing Herschel Walker walking in. Mm-hmm. And I go, Ari goes, that's Herschel Walker. I go, Ari, watch what happens when he sees me. And as soon as Herschel Walker looked around, he went, oh shit, he gave me a hug. And I go, Ari goes, how do you know him? I go, I know him from his USFL days. From 1985 at the Sheridan in Lyndhurst, they used to have a happy hour, and all the brothers would go to eat ribs and shit, and all the bitches and shit. This was when everybody found out OJ was fucking a white bitch. It's all right to fuck a white bitch, you know. So my friend, her house burnt down, and the insurance company put her at that hotel. So she used to call me and go, you gotta get over here. You have no idea who's downstairs. The Giants, the Knicks, Lawrence Taylor. It was a fucking party, but the USFL.
Right.
And I remember Trump and the whole fucking deal. But it's so weird how even the media spun it with, who owns ESPN? Disney.
Mm-hmm.
And Disney's against Trump? Obviously.
Most likely.
Obviously. But listen, that's not what I got out of it. You want me to tell you what I got out of it? That this motherfucker's been swinging since 1985.
Trump?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's been playing deep.
He's been swinging. Yeah. I mean, you know, so people say, well, he lost with the casino. He's a failure for this. Here's a guy that never stopped trying. You know, listen, we're not going to get into it, but I'm just saying.
What do you mean not going to? You started it. You're going to let me say something.
But it's so weird how he was always swinging for the fences. If he didn't work at football, fuck it, he bought a horse. When that didn't work, fuck it. And but at the other side, for years I was swinging at fences too. But it was other people that were paying for my mistakes.
Well, that's like being in business. We call it an OPM, or other people's money. They wind up paying for your mistakes.
Right. That's what I was doing for years also.
OPMer. And actually, I'll be the first one. Like when in all the business I've been involved in and everything else, there's a saying, and it's by a guy, I think J. Paul Getty said this, I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. I'll make more money. I'll cover more territory. That's the whole point of building a business. So people get caught up about you can see it on Shark Tank all the time, about percentages of companies. It doesn't matter how much percentage you have in your life. It's a matter of what you do with the percentage that you have. You know, you're either a doer or you're not. And 98% of the people walking are everybody dreams. Everybody dreams about everything. We all do. I'm a big dreamer myself. I'm sure you are. So, especially given the night. So, as far as that's concerned, 2% of the people put it to work. There's out of the 100 people out there that want to be a comic and do everything that made it live within about 200 miles where you grew up, right? You're the 2%er. You made it out. You made it happen. So it's a matter of just, if everybody was a 2%er, then the world would be kind of screwed up. Because you ever hear those phrases of pyramid? You know, that business is a pyramid scheme, it's a pyramid. Everything in life is a pyramid. Whether you're a parent building a family, whether you're the president running the states, or whether you're the president of your company, or in your case, whether you're the one-man army that you are, you know? And everybody underneath you is as important as the guy on the top. You know, all those people shipping boxes in those companies on the bottom, ladies and guys, you know, taking the phones and everything, they're just as important as that top, because without them, everything crumbles. So you got to have that 98%, whether you're part of the 2 or the 98. It fits. It's just the way life is. You know, some people call it top 1. I call it top 2.
For me, the thing about this election is like, I come from a very liberal place where it's everyone's Democratic almost. Democrat.
Where's that?
Boston. Mm-hmm. And the thing about Trump is, if he just hadn't said some of that crazy stuff about Mexicans and just if he had just come out and acted like a little bit normal,
well, no, you're asking
he'd win in a landslide.
Yeah, but well, see, the thing is, no, I disagree, because the reason he comes out and talks like that is the reason he is where he is, that he can't come out and talk like that. If he stops being Donald Trump, then that's not who he was. It wouldn't work. It's a reverse. It won't work. His ego would never allow him to do that. You know, he's a fireball, you know, and yeah, we saw this stuff last week. I mean, listen, locker room talk is locker room talk, and then there's certain extremes, whatever, and I don't condone, you know, I love women, don't get me wrong, but you know me, Joey, do I ever talk disrespectful about anybody? And I know how to talk funny, right? So there's a way you talk and there's a way not. What was said was wrong, and if you can say, well, that was 11 years ago, like I think Billy Bush, the guy I was talking to, said that was like 10, 11 years ago, I become more mature. Give me a break. You're a 28-year-old man, now you're a 38-year-old man, you're going to tell me that at 28 you didn't have enough, you know, savvy in the business you're in, so now he's suffering. They suspended him. I don't even know if they'll ever bring him back, because they're going to have to send a message in that case with what happened. But Trump is he's a powerful man, and his business-wise, you mentioned that there's Trump University, you know, that came up, and there's been like 3,500 lawsuits filed against it. The Trump casinos, they closed their doors this week. They're done. It's over. It's totally closed. Real estate he's done quite well in, but all I know is, want to vote for Trump, don't want to vote for Trump, want to vote for Hillary, don't vote for Hillary. If Trump gets in office, I'll tell you one thing, that within 16 months, well, I'll give it 2 years. Give me a little leeway here. There's going to be a gold name of Trump somewhere put on the White House, and I think we need to like draw it and square it up and bet $5 in each square to see where it's going to wind up, because it's going to wind up if he's president. And I don't know if that's going to be the best thing that happens.
So let me ask you something.
It's a scary election, Joey.
It's very scary. You were talking about the 2-on-1. Like, for me, it's like I write the jokes, I perform, I do a podcast, I prepare the podcast. Lee puts them up. He does all the technical side. My wife sends the packages. You know, my agent books the fucking gigs. My theatrical world is done with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even worry about that shit.
Because when it comes, it'll come.
Yeah, when it comes at that, it comes. Right now, I'm worried about this. So, I still don't get your theory. Am I on top? Am I in the middle?
Absolutely, you're on top. I was saying that. See, I believe that we're all born and created equal, barring the ability. Of course, you know, race is an issue in cases. But what I'm talking about, we're all born and created equal in respect to the fact, unless we can throw higher, jump higher, punch harder. In sports, I mean, what really separates? We got lung, we got brain, we got to put it to work. Out of all the people in a group of 100 people within a 50-mile radius, let's call it a 500-mile radius, a 5,000-mile radius, of people that wanted to become what you wanted to become, which was a stand-up comic, to do what it takes to get there. A lot of people dream and think, and they try, but you know, it just takes so much more. You made it to the 2%. You know, you just kept punching and punching and punching, and you know how to do every aspect of your business from what you're telling me. So you can't train anybody else to do it unless you know how to do it yourself. And this kind of business, including mine, managing my brother's, you know, career and everything else, I didn't want a big office. I had offices that had, you know, 150 employees, 40,000 square feet. The bottom line is you can get it all done yourself, just putting it into order. In our single one-man businesses, branding. You're branding yourself constantly.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just surviving.
Then if you don't know what you're doing, and
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just surviving. That's all I'm trying to do. You know, it's so weird.
I agree with that. I do agree with what you just said.
Yeah.
every day is. I'm just looking to survive today.
Oh my God, that's it.
It.
I don't understand what these people with 8-year plans. You know what? Today
okay.
I want to get a pizza.
I want to get a pizza.
I want to get a bag of reefer. I want to give my wife a stabbing. I want to hug the kid. I want to make a fucking smoothie with the dark cherries in it and the little raspberries and shit. And it's nice and sweet with almond milk.
You know your life, Joey. You know what you like.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty interesting what you're saying, because I sit here sometimes and I go, how the fuck is a guy like me who was bleeding from his neck after he was doing blow, still in Los Angeles, and still swinging? I haven't made nothing. I'm amazed by the fact I'm still swinging comically, like I'm going to tape a special on Saturday. This is the first time anybody's even considered me for a special, and I've been doing this for 25 years. But you want me to tell you something? Guess what? I'm ready.
I know you're ready.
Like, that's the crazy thing.
You're
like,
ready.
I wasn't ready 10 years ago to do what I'm about to do 2 days from now.
It's life is it's an evolutionary process, and it's a constant process of daily maturation in everybody's life and career. And in respect to what you're doing, do you think for 1 second that 10 years from now you're not going to know more than you know today? You know? Yeah, that's the beauty of life, knowledge. You know, and how to do it right. How to go from point A to point B in a straight line instead of like a lot of hippy-dippy people do out here in LA, and they've got to have the meeting and go over here and go over here. Just give me the friggin' answer, you know? Let's just get this done. Time's precious.
Time is fucking precious, man.
That's what they call the opportunity cost of time.
You know, you sit here and you go 53. I remember being 33. You know, I'll give a finger to be 33. With what I know now.
You'd give a finger to be 33 physically with a brain that's physically, but all the knowledge you have. Well, you just said the same thing, right?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if you could do this again with what you know now at 33, it wouldn't have stopped me. At the age of 40, I would have been running Maine.
It might
I
scare
would
me.
have taken over fucking Maine with 3 fucking Puerto Ricans and a knife.
Might scare me at 33 to have a brain that knows as much as I know now at 59. You know?
It's not even the brain. It's the confidence and there's a word.
Don't you believe that confidence is safe? Show me somebody that wasn't confident when they're 20, unless, you know, they've really earned their craft. They're probably just not going to be that kind of person that'll ever be totally confident. You know, show me a board at 20, I'll show you a board at 60.
But it's not the word. The word isn't confident. When Denzel Washington, you ever see that movie with Denzel and Angelina Jolie where he's in a bed and she's like a fucking crime investigator and he tells her what to look for?
Absolutely.
When they're looking for the gentleman, he says something. He goes, he's older because he's cautious. He's more precise. You know, when you get older, you get more you get more bang for the buck. So when I know for a fact I got 3 moves. If you come up to me and say, "Give me your money, Joey," I got a leg to the kick, I got a punch to the throat, and another leg to the kick. One of those things has to take you down. If none of them do, I'm doomed. I'm out of breath. I'm huffing and puffing.
Help, Mr. Wizard.
And my anxiety takes over.
Right.
But you know this going in, you know. I don't know what my point is. I'm smoking so much reefer these
I was
days.
trying to figure out your point there, but I was just, it sounded like it was building into something.
No, when you get older, you have this confidence, but you also have this control. You know,
It's called experience, Joey. It's experience.
It's experience. You're
and people,
absolutely right.
I'll sit. Lee, how old are you?
28.
28. Okay, I'm 59. You know the difference between us?
What?
31 years of experience. Right?
Absolutely.
Joey, you're how old?
53.
I'm 59. You know what's the difference between us?
What?
6 more years of experience. You know what the difference between most people and us? You got fucking more experience than I have at 53. I'm kidding. All the experiences you've been through, you've lived an incredible life, Joey.
But it's similar. It's weird because I have Lee. Lee went to Emerson College. Lee likes fucking goofy movies and Orange is the New Black and
Oh, you said it right.
stuff like that. You know.
That's the first time.
Give me an idea of a goofy movie.
Give
me one of your favorite movies.
It's not my favorite movies that he hates. He just hates when I watch new movies. Like if my girlfriend took me to the it was awful. The Amy Poehler, whatever her name is from 30 Rock, Tina Fey movie.
Oh, the Sisters or whatever?
Yeah, that movie a couple years ago, and he just when he calls me and I'm at the movies, he just sighs now.
Did you watch Rifki yet?
What's Rifki?
Did you watch Rifki, the thing I sent you?
Yeah. Wait.
With the one where he beats him up and shit. Put on YouTube for a second. I want to show my man if he remembers this.
What scene?
Put on Midnight Express, Rifki.
I don't think you sent me. Let's see.
Huh?
Did you email it to me?
No, I emailed it to the gods. Just please, Midnight Express, Rifki. What's it the questions, guys?
Talk about a frightening movie.
Jesus Christ! They don't even. I sent Lee 3 clips last night. Yesterday at the Comedy Store, before I went up, I spoke to him, another friend of mine, Joe Malash, and a friend of mine from CAA, Ryan, and we're talking about movies, and we're talking about the original Mechanic. How the first 20 minutes of the movie, there's no dialogue. It's
Jan Michael Vincent, baby.
It's him. Yeah, we're talking about Jan Michael Vincent
And Charlie.
All right, Fighting Rifki.
Charles Bronson and Jan Michael Vincent.
That's the first one. Yeah, right there, that one. This is a movie that came out that is so fucking frightening, Lee. It's so fucking frightening.
This guy was so
Oh my
scary.
God.
Yeah.
Hit it.
I didn't sell him anything. I didn't.
Saratinen ifadesini çok iyi biliyorum. Bu haşişletne oluyor. Haşişi nereden buldun?
Birisi bilmiyor. Rifki
Sen kapatını! Mazene götürün!
No, he's lying, Rifky's lying! He's a liar! Man! No! Let me go, damn you! Let go! Go away! Go away! Get out of here!
Look at Rifki, sold them out, Lee.
Rifky!
This is a tremendous fucking scene. Midnight Express, I think 1978. This country don't even remember this movie anymore. They're both in a jail. Rifki's the fucking pimp. And he's a fucking jailhouse rat. This poor fucking American's got like 30 years. He's got no. Look at him. He's having a nervous breakdown, Lee.
But it's a Moroccan jail, right?
Yeah, it's a Moroccan jail. He tried to get the hash out of Morocco. Guys, if you've never seen this fucking movie, it's an education.
That's
Jack.
a true story.
Yeah,
True
no,
story.
It's a true story. Put the music on loud. That's the music you hear at 7-Eleven in Chandler.
It is.
Put it on, Lee. Listen. He's having a nervous breakdown.
Where'd they take the other guy?
Wow, whoa. Watch, Lee. Tremendously. He's the jailhouse rat. Bam.
Oh my.
Look at him, Lee. He spits his tongue out. This is when America was America, motherfuckers. Now this is a fucking movie right here, baby boy. This is what you gotta start watching every morning. This poor guy died of AIDS in real life. God bless his soul. Tremendous American fucking film right here.
Did he get it shooting this?
No, he just got it years later. It's a tremendous movie, guys. If you ever watch this, I had to drop knowledge on these fucking. Look at his face.
Oh, thank God it's over.
Fuck this shit.
You know, we're talking movies, and like you talked about the Mechanic, the first Mechanic.
Yeah.
You know, they're remaking it again.
They did it twice.
Yeah, I hear it's being made again. They got another one coming out. So
could care less.
Charles Bronson
is stabbing himself in the fucking neck.
Wasn't he amazing though? Wasn't he perfect for that role? And Jan Michael Vincent, he married one of my best friends from high school.
I told Lee and these guys about how Jan Michael Vincent set the fucking bar.
He was the Brad Pitt of his generation.
I was just gonna say there would have been no Brad Pitt. There would have been no the kid from Sons of Anarchy. Mm-hmm. That whole realm started with Jan Michael fucking Vincent.
I just watched Big Wednesday coming back on the plane.
Come on.
Yeah, well, John Milius, he used to go to my mother's house for Sunday brunch, and then they filmed that in Malibu, down there. And I'd known Jan for quite a while, and Jan tragically is, he's not doing well, right? He had his leg amputated. He was a serious alcoholic, had problems with drugs, got arrested for actually. My friend from high school he married got arrested for domestic abuse. couple things like that. Chad McQueen, Steve McQueen's son, when after Steve died, had his own little film career and started producing films. And when Jan Michael was at the point past Airwolf, where he just wasn't the same guy. The look he was. Remember how beautiful? Let's be honest. We're talking like people go Brad Pitt's beautiful. Jan Michael Vincent was the it man. He was the it factor. Yeah.
There was a part where he had the long hair. He did a movie before The World's Greatest Athlete. He did one before that, like him and a girl in the lagoon. Wasn't that him?
No, you're thinking Ricky Schroeder. That was the blue.
What movie was he in? Let me get
IMDb.
IMDb. Fucking what's his name again?
Jan Michael Vincent.
But what happened is that when his career started subsiding, Chad gave him a movie in a role in one of his films. Talking like a B movie you see on Cinemax late at night. But anyway, right before it started, he had an accident. And his face went right through the window. So he did the whole movie with the stitches all over his face. Remember, again, how handsome he was. But now I just saw a thing, and because of the drugs and the alcohol and everything, his health got really bad. He was the epitome of health, right? And now they've had to amputate his leg, and it's amazing how the fall from grace can change. And Airwolf was one of the biggest hit TV shows on TV for a long time.
What decade, Joey, do you think it was?
What?
What were you looking for?
That would be back in like 1960, late 60s.
He did The World's Greatest Athlete, so it was right before that and The Mechanic. It was before 73.
Okay.
So what did he do?
Sorry, I was on Wikipedia. I should have gone IMDb.
Yeah, IMDb.
Yeah, IMDb. That's the easy way. I used to party at the Trancas restaurant with him, David Carradine, then came Bronson, Michael Parks. He's in the Kill Bill movies. Gary Busey, who was my neighbor. Gary Busey was my neighbor, lived next door to me in Trancas Canyon for 8 years, right? Crazy group of people down there. You want to talk about wild nights of crazy nights? That was called the Trancas restaurant at Trancas Canyon Road. It was the only place to go to if you lived in Malibu, so everybody went there on Friday and Saturday nights. It was just a lot of fun, a lot of great memories, that place. Those guys were out of their minds.
I can't even fucking imagine. I heard a bunch of stories. What movies was he in?
Okay, so in '69 he was in The Undefeated, and then he was in a bunch of TV movies in '69.
Well, The Tribe,
The Tribe and The Survivors was a series. That's it.
Go higher.
Go higher. The World's Greatest Athlete.
Okay, that was '73.
Okay, The Mechanic. I said up to The Mechanic.
The Mechanic was a while back.
Where was The Mechanic? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Mechanic's up.
Yeah. Okay, so The Mechanic was first.
Okay.
And then it was The World's Greatest Athlete.
All right.
And then it was Bite the Bullet.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Then it was Buster and Billy, and then Bite the Bullet.
Bite the Bullet was a good movie. That was like an ensemble.
He did a lot of TV. White Line Fever, Baby Blue.
White Line Fever.
Remember that? Do you remember that one?
Holy shit!
Where they shot everything up. You know what? I think Chris Christopherson was in that too.
White Line fucking Fever. Yep.
Protecting the town. That was one of the good shoot 'em up movies.
Shit. What are the movies?
What are the movies? Okay.
Then he did Airwolf. Then somewhere
Baby
around
Blue Marine.
Baby Blue Marine. Jesus Christ, that's right.
Shadow of the Hawk.
Vigilante Force, I remember that. And then Big Wednesday was when?
78.
78, right, exactly.
Hooper.
No, Hooper.
Oh,
Hooper with Burt Reynolds. Remember that was good? Yeah. That was a good movie.
That was really good. Yeah.
Poor Burt Reynolds, I hear he's not doing too good right now, health-wise.
He's fucking 80 years old.
Yeah.
These guys, I mean, God bless them.
We're going to be there.
Yeah, we're going to be there. 80 years old. They smoked.
I hope we're there.
Drank and yeah.
Yeah, but back in those days, it was the 3 martini lunch. I mean, people didn't work out as a rule. If you saw pictures of Clint Eastwood, which were PR photos doing a dumbbell curl, that was like it wasn't like it is today. Not at all. It was hard living. That was an old breed style back then. I go farther back, my dad's age. Serving in World War II. That's just old breed. They don't make many like that.
Well, you go back to that Sinatra age when they were shooting that movie in Las Vegas, and they would shoot in the daytime and go out and drink at night.
Big time.
They were in their 40s. I couldn't do that shit in my fucking 40s.
No, but literally they do, 2 shows a night? I read about this. 2 shows a night. They'd party with the women and everything till, 6, 8 in the morning, sleep till 5. Party till noon, sleep till whatever, take a shower, go down, do the shows again, start the whole
Yeah, but
process.
no, I'm telling they were at one point they were doing a movie in Vegas and doing shows at night.
Oh, the Ocean's
They
11
went
film.
for like 8 weeks or something.
Ocean's
like that.
11. That's probably when they made Ocean's 11.
That's fucking brutal.
Yeah, to do shows. Well, you know what it's like. You know,
No shit.
Yeah.
No shit.
you're first off, you're sitting on a set all day. You're not really doing anything most of the time, or they keep you rehearsing like crazy. But to do 2 shows after that, what time do you have for yourself? You got no time at all.
Well, I used to work Miami in the late 90s.
You had to go out after every night, didn't you?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Come on, seriously.
It was horrific.
Was it horrific, or was it horrific?
Because you figure this. When I was in New York, I left New York in 1985, which made me 22 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I got to tell you, there was maybe 20 nights, and all those nights that I stayed out till 6. There was a couple nights we snorted till 11 in the morning or 1 in the afternoon during a football game or something. But that was basically it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I never really stayed out all the fucking time. Like, I couldn't imagine doing all-nighters now till fucking 11 or 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
I think I've paid my dues in that area. I mean, I have certain great nights of fun, but it could involve a lot of, usually involves somebody I'm with and having a great time at Vegas or something. But here in LA or whatever, nights don't go that late. I can't even think about it. Vegas is another story. Creates a whole new attitude. But even then, people think I go out and party all the time after these big shows. And granted, do I? Sure, I have my moments, absolutely. More than I can remember. But there's the moments, I'm sure you go through it too, Joey. I just want to go back to my room. I want to get some room service, right? I want to watch a pay-per-view movie, and thank God for online poker. I mean, sometimes I just want to just get away because I'm going somewhere else in 2 days. It's work. But partying all night like that, I couldn't do that.
When I used to go to Miami in 98, it was worse than when I lived in New York up to 85.
Yeah, but you're talking Miami. Miami's nuts as it is now. That was crazy back then.
98, I would do the 2 shows. And remember, I was the feature act.
Mm-hmm.
I was not the headliner. I would go down there. They would go, "You going to feature? Fuck yeah. 2 weeks? Fuck yeah."
How long were your sets?
25 minutes. 20 minutes. And I had a system. I would go down to the club. I'd get my advance for the night. Or sometimes I wouldn't see the manager. But I'd go in there and I'd get a brown bag and I'd take like 6 brown little fucking Budweisers back to my room. And then I'd take a shower and then come down, actually do the show or the shows. And then in between shows, I'd go to the frozen drink place.
Jamba Juice?
No, fucking Jamba Juice.
Jamba Juice back then.
No Jamba Juice. They had like these frozen drink places with alcohol in them.
Yeah.
Wet Willies. Wet Willies. They had one drink that was 140 proof. You know how fucked up you get on one of those?
Do you know what that means, by the way?
What?
When something is 100 proof or 140, what is it? Do you know
Like
what the
percent alcohol or?
Divide it by 2. So that means he's drinking 70% alcohol. When you're like 6%, yeah. Anyway, you're drinking 70% alcohol.
140 these things are. It's called Call a Cab. That's what the drink is called. It's called Call a Cab.
Sounds
There's a new one that
delicious.
came out.
What is it?
Call an Uber.
Oh yeah, Call an Uber. This is 100. And they would only give you maybe 3. It was grain alcohol.
Maybe 3 of them?
You can only drink 2 of them,
Oh
3
my
of them.
God.
But it was pure grain alcohol. That's why you got fucked up. But to make a long story short, I would go down there 6 times a year for 2 weeks. And if the headliner the following week was bringing his own feature and they'd stay in the hotel, I'd stay a week and stay in the condo. And let me tell you something. At that age, in 99,
Of course.
I would fucking go out all 7 nights.
Of course.
Till 6, 7 in the morning, snorting blow, jerking off, bringing a girl home from News Cafe. What a
Was it like in that order though, Joey? I'm trying to think about
fuck
it.
knows?
The order was a little off. You know,
Yeah,
you don't want to jerk off before you bring the girl
Who
home,
the
Joey.
hell knows? It's a horrible, horrible existence.
There was some pleasure in there, and I heard some pleasure.
Let me give some shout outs here, and we'll get you out of here. It's getting late here. Fucking cops are coming. Sorry about that. Went down the wrong pipe. I want to give my main man Bobby Sharon a shout out. He started a new podcast called Cobra Cast. How about a shout out to my man Ray Majewski, Brian O'Shea, Eddie Brancaccio, Ali Raza Javid, Doyle Chandler, Ryan Jacobs, and Andrew the motherfucking Miller. He built this little devil in C right here.
That's really cool.
I want to give you some shout outs. Let me ask you something. I just found this out. You told me not to talk about it, but I want to talk about it because I think it's cool. And now that I know about it, I won't do it today because there's something jammed with my PayPal.
Not a problem.
I was even telling Lee last night on the way down. I go, Lee, I'm trying to give you some money. I got some YouTube money for you, but something happened. You go online, and whenever I go online, it's like I'm a fucking asshole. Every plane ticket is $1,000 for me.
Oh.
So I called Lee the other day. I go, Lee, do me a favor. Go online. Tell me how much this plane ticket. He's like $198. I'm like, what am I, a fucking asshole? He goes, they know you're watching, so you have to change your cookies. So when I clean my cookies, I don't know nothing about my cookies. I told my wife.
I just like the way you describe it. It's fine. You're doing the...
So I told my wife, Lee said you got to do the cookie thing. So when she did the cookie thing, I went there the other day. I got this money in PayPal. I go, let me pay Lee some money. I can't send $1 out. $1 out to family or friends. Like they blocked me or something. But I don't know who the fuck was telling me this. Eddie Bravo. You did EBI.
Yeah, I've done 2 of them. A lot of fun.
Okay, now, I guess it was one of those guys who was telling me, if we go on your webpage, what's your webpage?
Oh, BruceBuffer.com.
You going to be mad at me?
No, it's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
All right. They said that if you go on your webpage, there's a page that I click onto, and I tell you, my name is Joey Big Dick Diaz, and I hail from fucking Cuba, Havana, Cuba.
Oh, you click on this page. You know what? Without trying to sound like I'm selling anything.
No, I just want. I think it is the fucking coolest thing because if you have a birthday party,
A wedding. People.
A wedding. It doesn't fucking matter, Bruce. It's not. I love the Friday. I love it.
All right. Well, here's what happened. Is that I get requests like you won't believe for voiceovers and like announcements, right? So I do a lot of weddings. Like they're on video on YouTube, or I make audio recordings for them, and it's really cool because they write back. I get tears in my eyes. Oh, you're part of my special day. That's a big deal for me, right? So I can command a certain amount of money for what I do, like you do, and this I make these really inexpensive. So I thought to myself, instead of these fans that are willing to pay hundreds of dollars for me to introduce them, like I would, in the Octagon as a champion, then why not just make something special because they're the greatest fans in the world? So for it's a $99 bill. Right, $99, and you go to the site. Go to BruceBuffer.com. Go to BruceBuffer.com, please, Lee. And you click on it. Takes you to a page, and basically you fill out a form. And like, Lee, give me your full name, Lee.
Lee Syatt, Syatt.
What's your fighting skill? What would you call yourself?
He's got the Jew foot.
Yeah, the
jiu-jitsu.
flying
Once he
Jew
picks
foot.
up the Jew foot, it's over. It's
How about the jiu-jitsu fighter?
It's a jiu-jitsu fighter.
Sure.
No, he's a jiu-jitsu fighter.
Yes.
Okay.
I like it.
You like that? Okay. How tall are you?
If you're
Don't lie. Tell me the truth. Come on.
Okay, I was gonna say if you're gonna announce me, we could say.
Well,
like
actually,
6
if you're
feet.
filling out a form, how tall you want to be? What do you want to be, Lee?
Yeah, if you're gonna announce me, we'll say like 6'3". That's what I always wanted to be.
Is that what you want to be? Okay.
I'm 5'.
How much do you weigh? 6'3". How much you weigh?
180.
I don't know. Yeah, sure. I have no idea what I'm supposed to weigh.
All right. You're 6'3". Let's give you something. Like 240 pounds.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Where are you fighting out of? What's your city?
Boston.
Any championships in your life?
3-time hummus champion. And can I rig it so it plays when I open the door to the office?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll send you the file. You can do whatever you want.
Yes.
3-time hummus champion. Okay. Nickname?
The Flying Jew.
Okay, so it takes a second to fill out the form. You fill out the form, you hit a button, and you pay through PayPal. Right, Syatt, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You pay through PayPal, it comes through. I get the script. I get back in town. I can win 100 of these a day if I had to, whatever. So you do your thing. I get the order form. So I'll get in my studio, and I'll do it like this. And now, introducing the man fighting out of the blue corner. He is a jiu-jitsu fighter, standing 6'3" tall, weighing in at 240 pounds, fighting out of Boston, Massachusetts, making his debut, the 3-time hummus world champion, Lee, the Flying Jew, Syatt.
Thank you. That's an honor.
Now, if you want me to put on the tuxedo, I do videos too.
That is the
and I put on the
coolest
tuxedo, and you
fucking
get it. That's what I
idea.
do for the weddings a lot. Yeah.
Every time I watch these podcasts, the other day I was watching Rogan's podcast what's his name was on there, Boss Root.
Oh, I love Boss.
All the things, you figure Boss is going to talk about choking people or the time he took somebody's eyeball out or something. He's talking about breathing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm listening to this, and he's talking about how he invented this thing because when you're trying to breathe in, it's the muscles that don't let you breathe out correctly, and he had a machine. It's like a weight machine for your lungs, you know?
Right.
And it's like so interesting. I ordered it, and it's great. I didn't know how to do it. I called up a friend of mine who knows him. He told her. He sent me a fucking video how to do it. We live in such a weird world that you could get it. Like I told him, I didn't get the instructions with the thing I got. I don't care. Just tell him to just tell me where to go and get the instructions. She called me back. I said, no, he wants to talk to you. And now when I heard this from Eddie, because I saw you down there, I'm like, I wonder what the fuck Buff charged Eddie. I mean, Eddie's got to be washing his dishes and maybe teaching jiu-jitsu to the poker people on Monday nights. And he was like, nah, it's cool as hell. And then he said about this, and I'm like, this is the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's
and
so,
they get it sent to their house on email, MP3.
No, so they write you on email. You pull the file, you do whatever you want with
okay.
it. Yeah, we have that. See, the reason is Kristen, who runs my company, she's getting inundated with all these requests, right? So it's a lot. So I figured, let me make this simple. So you get a form, bada bing, bada boom. I get the form. I can sit down, do 20 of them. Do one of them, whatever. And the big thing is, Joey, I get a kick out of it because I know the people's reaction when they get it. It cracks me up, and it's a very cool thing to do.
It's really weird what's happened, what the internet has added to people like yours and mine lives.
If I had the internet when I started managing my legendary brother Michael Buffer's career back some 25, 26 years ago, what we did in that 25-year space of time with when a branding Let's Get Ready to Rumble, trademarking it and building his business in sports and entertainment, I used to stand up at night and send out 200, 300 faxes one by one, promoting, getting the message out. This happened, that happened. Now it's just pressing a button. I would have killed it. I would have covered so much ground, if we had that kind of technology available to us. It's really great stuff. I got to ask you something. You mentioned Boss Rudin. If you were to ask me in a street fight, out of all the warriors I've met, right, over the last 20, it's 20 years for me as of February in the Octagon. And even my career in boxing was 7 years before that, 5 years before that, meeting all those great fighters too. Who would I want to back me up in a street fighter? Who would I want to get in? You know what I tell you? Two guys, Chuck Liddell, because I've seen him at work, and Boss Rudin. I don't want to hear about anybody. Just put me Chuck Liddell on one side, even at their age right now, and Boss Rudin over here. It's like that's all you need.
I've never really seen Boss Rudin fight, but my top two. If I was in a dark alley, Chuck Liddell.
There it is.
And Carlos Condit.
Carlos Condit?
There's something about Carlos Condit that's always scared me.
Well, he's got the kill.
And there's two fights that I could back what I'm saying to you. With the kid from GSP's camp when he fucking put the lump in his head with a fucking elbow.
Oh, Rory McDonald?
Yeah, when he said to him, you're behind, go out there, and he fucking zeroed it on him. And the fight with Lawler. Was it Lawler? Robbie?
Yeah, that was Rory McDonald with Lawler. But
No. Who did he just fight? Who did he just go? He just had a battle, Carlos Condit.
With no.
Before he lost to this guy now, he had a battle with
somebody. He fought. Yeah, I know.
He had a 5-round battle.
I think it was Robbie.
Yeah,
it was Robbie. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is,
I see how it hurts for me to remember anymore.
Yeah, it was like I could see. I'd hate to bump into Carlos, the natural born killer.
Well, he's there's a lot like that, but you also have to think, as I'm sure he does, because I can see the sense. I can read. We're street,
right,
we can read people. Okay. So I say I'm pretty right on most of the time, but it's not just who fought in the Octagon. We're talking about a street fight. When it breaks down, it gets ugly, and bad things can happen, as I know you've seen. Chuck's got that instinct, Boss, and has proven it over and over. Fighting for sport under rules is one thing. Laying it down over here in an atmosphere. I'm not just talking a quick, schoolyard fight. I'm talking like some serious street fighters. It's a whole other world, man. This the instinct you have to have. And I watched Chuck Liddell in that London fight, the one with Tito and Lee Murray and all. And I was making sure covering his back and all, man, he was walking through people like they were butter. It was like, you remember the Time Machine with Rod Taylor and the Ewoks attacked? Like, pop, 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 pop. He's like, bam, one, bam, bottom fist on this one, pop on this one. They were all coming at him. He's just dropping them like a tractor going through trees. It is an amazing piece of work to watch.
It's really amazing when you see someone on the street who God made to be on the street.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, young, I grew up on 88th Street, but my godmother lived on 148th Street. And there was a couple families that had 6 or 4 kids.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this one family, if you put a fucking gun to my head, I can't remember his name now. They were Italian or white or whatever the fuck they were, mutts, but nice people.
Right.
But they had one brother who, when he fought, he took a fucking ear or a finger, or he stuck his fingers in your nostril.
There's always one of those guys.
He went to maim, and I guarantee, at the time, I remember saying it to myself when I was 8, that guy's never going to get out of jail, because by the time I was 8 already, he was in and out of. By the time I was 7, I had started going to my godmother's when I was 5.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time, I saw him do something once like an animal with a stick that I had never saw anybody do. And I go, you know what? As of right now, I'm never even going to get close to this guy.
Yeah, well, there comes a point in life you got to separate yourself.
You could tell who the fuck is going to be John Hinckley, or you could tell those people who's going to be. And then there was a Halloween incident that was up there, and he just took an egg, and what he did it to his own brother. He had like 4 brothers. And
what do you mean, hit him with an egg?
He hit him at the egg, but he tried to hit him with the egg in his eye, like crush the egg.
Oh, like crush it right into his eye.
And the other brothers had to get off him and stuff, and it was just terrible.
You got to think about something. Do you know how easy it is to break an egg? But when you're pressing that egg up against the eye like that, that egg doesn't break.
Right. He was trying to do something really fucking bad to his brother. The other brothers jumped in. I'm like, what the fuck? In the 70s, they didn't have a name for that yet. You were just fucking around or something. But then there was a block party, and something happened, and he hit somebody, and that was the beginning of his juvie. And I remember making a mental note going, that guy's never going to fucking get out. He just had that look to him where...
He's just going to get worse while in.
The last 5 years I've been around him, every 3 months he does something fucking...
I tell people all the time, the best self-defense in life is observation, knowing what's going to happen before it happens. Pay attention. Don't be a hero. There's just so many ways. I like you, Joy. I've just seen, maybe unlike you, but in my experience, I've seen a lot of bad things happen, and they happen so damn quick.
They happen fucking quick.
So quick. Yeah.
I don't even like when people talk to me anymore like when we're on the street. Like, you have to pay so much. Like, I just came back from New York. And I gotta tell you something. I love going home to New York, but this last time, it fucking horrified me.
Why?
Because the last 3 times I've been to New York, I've seen things that are uncharacteristic of any other city I go to. You and I both know we travel. Mm-hmm. I go everywhere. I go to Minneapolis. I go to Chicago. I go to fucking Portland, Oregon. I go to Tempe. I go to Houston, Austin, Dallas. I go to New Orleans. It don't matter.
I can relate.
This last time in New York City, I saw a lot of weapons. I saw the bomb-sniffing dogs. I saw a lot.
Are you talking about legal weapons like police and
yeah.
Well, think about it.
It's
scary. It's scary.
It's real. It's fucking real. Like, you go to New York, it's real. So it's just.
It's still one of the greatest cities in the world. Oh my God, I love that city. I love that city.
All these cities that I go to are pretty much booming on paper for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Philadelphia's become like this hot comedy city all of a
It's
sudden.
my hometown.
They just opened up the Punchline there. They got Helium there. They got another club there. Every week the clubs are going at it.
Great.
To see who the fuck is the best headline. These cities that were not dead 10 years ago. They weren't dead 10 years ago, but they were struggling. Close to Philadelphia, you got to assume Camden's struggling, Pennsauken's struggling, Vineland's struggling. All those little cities 100 miles from fucking Philadelphia dying one by one. Camden's down to no police force, or 9.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Every time I hear something crazy about it. So, but some of these cities that I go to, I'm sitting there in awe going, wow.
What's your favorite cities now? What's your 3 top favorite cities in the States?
You know what, man? There's not a lot of places I go to that I don't like.
I like the flavor of every place individually.
I find something that makes me look forward to going there. You know, and 9 out of 10, I gotta be honest, this is not drugs and it's not pussy. It's food.
Food.
Yeah.
Of course.
Like, I'm going, what the fuck am I going to Chicago? And I got one thing on my mind. Some sweetheart today said to me, when you come to Chicago, let me know. I'm going to take you to the best taco place. I'm coming from California. Even though there's probably some good Mexican food
but
in Chicago.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to eat no fucking tacos.
No.
First thing I'm doing with Lee is we're checking into the hotel room. I'm going to take a little nap, maybe work out, get ready for the show. And after the show, our friend Pete the Greek's picking us up. He's taking us to get a nice fucking hot beef sandwich with a little sausage in the middle. Nice. Like, gentlemen, maybe a thing of water. Lee wants to kill it. He wants to have a friend.
Why do you know about the sausage in the middle?
Huh?
I didn't know that we were putting a sausage in the middle.
Sauce, Chicago, man.
That's Chicago, dog.
Yeah.
I've never had that. I've had the beef.
Wait, I'm going to show you. You think I'm going to take you to some Uncle?
But you have to get crinkle cut fries, at least a small.
No,
Well, I'm from Philly. I'm all about cheesesteaks, right? You've had the Boston Bomb, right?
I don't know what that is.
You're from Boston and you know what a Boston
Please,
Bomb
this
is?
guy likes unbelievable what I got to deal with.
It's like a cheesesteak with sliced Canadian bacon on it. Thick
See, he
Canadian
loved
bacon.
that shit. He loves all
Yeah,
that.
it's a heart attack in a bun, but it's
I've
delicious.
never heard of it, but it sounds interesting. I'm weird. I'm weird with my steak and cheese. I don't like anything on it.
So what do you like fucking bacon on? Just a hamburger?
No, steak and cheese. What are you talking about?
You like burgers with bacon on it.
Yeah,
you
of course I do.
You don't like steak with bacon on it. You're very particular.
No, I don't like. For steak and cheese, I want steak well done, like well done, like crispy with cheese. Yeah, and that's it. I hate people put mayonnaise and lettuce on it. I see people getting it at Subway and putting like veggies on a steak and cheese.
Well, that's your first mistake. You're at Subway.
Well,
So why the fuck would you even judge those people? Once you go to Subway, you lose all credibility in the fucking sandwich world in my eyes.
You cannot say having a steak sandwich at Subway as I had a steak sandwich.
Yeah, you have no idea what he eats.
No,
This guy eats a Subway,
I don't go anymore.
goes home, blows his ass out.
Speaking of Subway,
Huh?
Speaking of Subway, that guy, the pedophile that went to
Yeah.
jail. What's his name?
Jared.
Jared. Did you hear that he filed a lawsuit against the parents of one of the girls that he went to jail for?
Yeah.
And blaming them for the way they raised her
Yeah.
is the reason that he got arrested?
He's abused that guy.
That is,
guy's,
I mean, what a piece
that
of
guy's
work.
looking at fucking 9 years, no matter how you cut it. He's just backstroking like everybody else in this fucking world.
Crazy.
You gotta fucking come
I got
on,
no
man.
empathy for him.
No, there's no empathy for those fucking guys. That guy was parading himself, having a great old fucking time. Great old time.
I know you like Charles Bronson. What's his real name?
I have no idea.
Charles Bronson.
Charles
No,
Pachinski.
Pachinski or something like that.
What was John Wayne's real name?
Lee Syatt.
Marion Michael Morrison. John Wayne. There's an icon.
Now, you also... Let me ask you something. So how long have you been doing that little thing with the voices for
I
weddings?
just launched it. Actually, strangely enough, because I wasn't saying anything, but I just launched it last week.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, got to get all the kinks out. I had to make it work.
I love it. I think it's a great fucking idea.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea. When I heard that, I'm like, wait a second. So you could just get it made and he'll email. Yeah. Oh shit.
Well, it comes a point where in your life it's like you walk around all day and let's say everybody who came up to you goes, "Tell me a joke," right? You know how many times they get the request to announce or it comes in via email? I mean, after a while, it's like, I want to get back to it. If that's what they want, give it to them.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I know you. You're a badass motherfucker.
Just call me Bruce, Joey.
You always got a Jew cup. Before, the last thing I need is you doing a million of these. Next thing you know, Ben Stiller shows up and wants 10 points. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, if it happens, then great. Maybe I'll even let my agent take care of it. I like doing things myself.
Yeah, me too. That's
I like
why.
doing things myself,
That's
yeah.
a great idea.
Yeah.
I love all this shit. I love all this.
I love
shit.
what I do. We love our life. I mean, it's about being passionate. What
You
you
know
do.
what? That's something that I like. I don't like a fucking ringtone. I don't like this. I really like this.
Actually, I did that. Not a ringtone, but this isn't available anymore. But this is the Bruce Buffer app, right? Oh wait. Okay, so I'm gonna play you a couple of the sayings. Let's see. I think you'll find this funny.
You're not gonna torture me, are you, Bruce Buff?
No.
Just play 2 of them.
I'm gonna let's talk.
play
Let's talk.
two.
I'll find it.
Go
I'll
ahead.
find
Go
it.
ahead.
I forget
Now, how long was this app running for? Is it still alive?
No, I made a bad decision. Sometimes you make bad decisions in business with good products.
Again, but you tried it.
Yeah, I
You
did.
have nothing to lose unless you fucking tried it.
It did great.
How many fucking things before she robbed herself? How many of those apps did she sell out? The fucking Kardashian chick.
Millions.
Millions.
No,
but
she made $40 million off that.
She wouldn't have known if she didn't try, bro. You gotta try things.
If I
in life.
remember correctly, one of the ways that was a recent one, she was making a lot, but one of the ones that she made a ton of money on actually happened through a legal battle where the people created it, and then she wound up going after them, and then it became her thing. And I mean, it's amazing how much money. Hey, let me ask you a question. Did it ever occur to you, hearing that story about her robbery in Paris, did you have one inclination, one moment where you thought it was a setup?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not saying it is, because they're suing everybody that says anything, but I'm just saying that you can't help but think when the girl, listen, Paris Hilton, before that Green Acre TV show came out, conveniently came out in a porno having sex with a guy named Rick Solomon that sold like crazy. I mean, millions, okay? Claims she never had any ownership of it. Came out 2 weeks before, brought a lot of publicity to the project. Kardashian had her tape conveniently was released, a short period before a lot of things happened. So very smart marketer, and her, the rumor is her show's going to be canceled.
Listen, let me explain something to you. Before I became a comedian, before I ever thought of this at the time, but before I thought of that, I used to rob drug dealers. But I also listen, when I started laying brick, anywhere I went, even to eat pizza, if I saw a brick, I looked at it and analyzed it and looked at it how it could be better. There's something about life when you're living it. When I was a criminal, and listen, the first time I read the article, I woke up that Monday morning and I had seen in the Colorado paper that OJ's wife had gotten killed. I knew it was OJ. I'm sorry. I knew it was OJ because a year earlier I read how he beat her on New Year's or something like that.
That cop showed up, beat the hell out of her.
So I knew it was OJ. So I'm not going to lie to nobody. We all racially profile. When I heard about the Kardashian thing, there were 2 or 3 things that didn't sound right. Not to Uncle Joey. First of all, I would have punched her in the fucking head. That's what I don't like. She didn't take a punch to the fucking head. Something's not right there.
Also, too,
they just picked her up and put her in the bathroom.
Not just that, but they tied her together with wrist, the plastic, what do you call it, ties?
Ties.
And duct taped over them. Okay, your hands are tied. Now you're duct taped over, your feet too. You're telling me you got out of that?
Something's
right.
Weird. I'm not saying that she did or she didn't. I don't want her going after us.
Not saying it.
But this is coming to you from a fucking criminal. And I'll tell you when you make these kind of mistakes. This is a mistake. This is one of those mistakes that you do when you don't think it out. She went over there. It's worth $10 million. So she gets $10 million insurance money, and she gets action on the stuff that got robbed. Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, there's just so many fucking... Was her mother in the hotel with her?
No, her friend was, and they also found one of the necklaces, which was a $33,000 necklace, they found on the sidewalk. So the criminals dropped it. The thieves, they dropped it. So, I don't know, who knows? But it's amazing how you get robbed, you come back the very next day to the United States.
They made $40 million. What? It's like, they made $40 million. What do they give a fuck on an app? You just said they made $40 million on an app.
Oh, her income it's crazy.
All right, so what's $10 million to them? Nothing.
Nothing.
That's why it doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make fucking sense to me. So they're going to get the insurance on a diamond?
I don't even know if they can get that much insurance on that. Anyway, that's another story, but...
Or unless they really liked her, or unless they didn't want to, they really planned it out. I mean, I could be wrong, too, unless they went in there.
It's a great PR move.
One fucking cop, one guy was at the door. I mean, I can't tell anymore.
I'm just saying, I felt weird about it.
I can't tell anymore. Yeah. But when I first heard it, how it went down, if they said they would have shot her in the foot, she was by herself.
Yeah. Completely. There was somebody else in there.
That's what I didn't like. That's the thing I didn't like.
I think she had a friend with her that was in a room downstairs that locked herself in the bathroom during this whole ordeal. That's what they said. Yeah, it was another girl with her, was in her downstairs or another bedroom. When she heard what was going on, she just locked herself in the bathroom.
What were the cameras?
Where's the cell phone? And the girl locked herself in the bathroom. Oh, she had one. She had her minutes to call, and anyway. There's just too many different variables. Just weird.
You know what? At the end of the day, when you go food shopping,
I don't wish it on anybody though. I don't wish that on anybody. That experience. Go ahead, food shopping.
It's just I don't like when people take advantage of somebody's it's like fucking smacking your face with the intelligence. Like something's not right. I don't know. I heard something today that she went after somebody for saying it.
No, they're suing. Yeah, not just saying it. If I remember this correct, I talked about this on my podcast this week. They made 3 posts about it. They're like a popular magazine or something. They made 3 posts about it, and that was enough to get them sued. They were pretty blatant posts.
Well, you know what, man? If there's smoke, there's fire. We'll see soon. Unless everybody
Be nice to the Kardashians if they're suing people.
What?
Be nice to them if they're suing people.
Be nice to them if they're suing people. Why be nice to them if they're suing people?
I'm just saying what I felt when I first heard it.
Which is
she's unharmed. There's no camera crew around. I mean, again, I don't follow her fucking career. I don't know what time the show is at. I don't know what the seasons are. I don't even know who she's married to. I heard she Kanye West left during the fucking concert in New York.
He just stopped, yeah.
He just stopped. So that means somebody gave him a pink slip, and he just left. Mm-hmm. You know what, man? Where was he? She's always there at the fucking concerts. Where were the kids? Doesn't she have 2 fucking babies? I mean, there's just so many variables here that I thought of that minute. But you know what? I got my own problem. I got to shoot a special. Elvis is dead, and I don't feel so good myself, as they used to say, right? Elvis is dead, and I don't feel so good myself.
Oh,
so I really don't have time to break down the Angelina thing and the Brad Pitt thing.
What's the breakdown?
Yeah, no, in your
ran
mind.
Its course, it's over.
Yeah, it's really weird how it's like sports sometimes. You wish you had more time for sports, but you really don't because there's so many fucking things on your plate.
Don't you think as you get older, the day gets shorter? Or do the days seem longer?
When you're a kid, everything is slow. And when you graduate high school, everything moves fucking triple speed.
Right.
Once you graduate high school,
yeah,
it's over.
Turbo time.
It's turbo fucking time. And it moves in 10-year movements.
Mm-hmm.
Like you look, it's 6 years, you go, okay, I'll take care of that problem. Next thing you know, it's 10 years. This has been amazing. Especially for me, it's been amazing. It's just
life, you're saying.
Yes, so far it's just been that. What's that dude's name? Who's that? That one that ended up with the Eagles.
Oh, you're talking musician or singer?
Musician, guitar player from Detroit.
Oh, jeez.
Life, whatever that song is. Life
not Rocky Mountain High's guy.
Yeah.
It's
what's the song he's saying? Life ain't that bad.
Life ain't that bad. Yeah. God, what's his name? You're killing me. That Rocky Mountain High, what a song that was. Classic rock and roll. There's nothing like it anymore.
No. Let me see. Who wrote Rocky Mountain High, Lee? Not John Denver, but the other.
Rocky Mountain High was John Denver.
Right. What's the song we're looking for? The Rocky Mountain Way is better than the way we had.
Rocky Mountain Way. Dun, 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 dun. And he had the slider.
Right. Now, what's the other? Now, think of that guy's name.
But not the John Denver one.
No.
Rocky Mountain Way.
Rocky Mountain Way.
That's high.
Yeah, that's high. Way.
Why is that high? Because you're high, Lee.
Could be.
W.A.
Joe Walsh?
Yeah, Joe Walsh.
Joe Walsh, yeah.
Now, Preston, Joe Walsh. The song, not Rocky Mountain Way, but the other one. Life's been good to me so far.
Life's been good?
Listen to the beginning of that, Lee. Click that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. Wednesday night.
This guy could play, man.
That's a great fucking jam. Yeah, we'll close with this tonight, Lee. Anyway, brother. I'm happy that you can make it up to the show tonight.
I was happy when you called me the other day. I was sitting,
Yeah.
your phone rang. Oh, Kristen, it's Joey. I'm gonna kill this call. And like I'll call you back. Joey, what's up? And you invite me on, and it's like normally I'm just booked, man. It's like I would have canceled something to be here with you tonight, Joey. You're one of my favorite people, and we always get along. We always have a good time.
I always see you on the flights and stuff. I don't stay for the UFCs no more. Ever since I had the baby, it's tough for me to sit anymore.
Joey, you're a dad.
It's tough for me to justify.
Yeah.
For me to tell my wife, and she's not gonna say nothing to me. It's just me in my own personal head. I'm like, it's tough for me to go. Well, I'm gonna go do a gig with Joe on Friday and then stay Saturday. I know that she likes a little yoga on Saturday. Give her an hour to go get a coffee, go get some shoes. The baby's 3.5. I don't mind watching her, taking her to the park and shit. So when I go to those UFCs, I get the fuck out of there at 6. I'm in Burbank at 7:30, so she could catch 9 a.m. yoga. That's what you gotta do.
I think that's beautiful.
That's what you gotta do.
You take care of your.
And you know what? I come home and I watch the UFC. How many UFCs have I been to? 25, 30 of them. What do I give a fuck at this point? I'm very happy. I'm content. I saw really good fighters. I saw Chuck Liddell smack the fuck out of 22,000 people.
You know one thing. You know that any big UFC, if that's the show you want to go to because somebody special is fighting, you'll be able to go. So nice to have choices, isn't it? Relax. Be with your child. Be with your lady. That's what life's all about, man. It's family. Familia.
You just have to make sacrifices. A couple of weeks ago, Black Sabbath was doing their final show at the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, you didn't see it?
No, because I got options. I got fucking things to do. I had to do this show. Lee and I were in Austin, Texas. We couldn't do the podcast on Sunday night. We were both beat. So Monday it had to be, and it worked out. It was a great podcast. And you know what? Every fucking final tour, they always come around one more time.
Yeah, I know.
They always do one that the accountants go, do you know what we finally made?
Stones are in their 70s, aren't they?
Yes.
And
now the
jumping
Stones,
around stage?
The Stones did last weekend and this weekend coming. That's what you're telling me?
Mm-hmm.
Did the Stones really play in Cuba?
Yeah.
Holy shit! I saw that. I forget. I saw a clip on like a documentary, and I can't believe that must have been crazy.
The Stones are out there. They're not. You want to say to yourself, "I'm getting old." Then you look at the Stones, and then you look at. I think it was Rogan posted a video of Mick Jagger doing a workout at 70 years old.
Oh yeah.
Dancing workout and routines and moving his hips and whatnot. And
that's why he keeps going. He took care of himself,
Yeah. When I did Grudge Match with De Niro for an hour a day before everything for the last 30 years, De Niro does an hour of jumping jacks, calisthenics, push-ups, stretches.
He's in incredible shape.
Unbelievable
shape when you look at him. And he was 71, I think, in Grudge Match.
Yeah.
And
I remember talking to his trainer. And he's been with the same trainer since the boxing movie, The Raging Bull.
Raging Bull. Look at the shape he got in The Raging Bull. Look at the shape he was in even older when he was in Cape Fear. I mean, he's such an amazing actor.
You know what, man? That guy, I grew up on him.
Me too.
There's no way to look past that. I grew up on that man. That's a fucking weird thing to say. Like, you grew up on that fucking dude. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Me too. Absolutely. I can think of other actors that are like that. Ones that I just respect.
Oh, I grew up on Pacino.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up on Charles Bronson. When I got to New York City from Cuba, Charles Bronson was just starting to bitch slap people. I don't remember The Great Escape and the other one with the 12 guys, the one with the 7 guys.
Oh, the Dirty Dozen.
The Dirty Dozen, and the other one with the 7 guys that he played one of the fucking slingers with Steve McQueen.
That was Steve McQueen. That was called The Magnificent Seven. That they just did the remake of. It came out.
They should all be shot in hell. They should all be shot in hell
for remaking
that fucking movie. I jumped on the movie that got me that Charles Bronson made. I don't know what. It's in my DNA.
Tell me what is it about. I'll tell you one that got mine was Hard Times, where he played the bare knuckle boxer.
Well, Hard Times was one of those movies, but the movie that got me, the first one, was Death Wish. Because Death Wish, the rape scene is so fucking horrific.
It's brutal. It's brutal.
As I watched it, I had to be a 10-year-old child.
At that time, it's brutal.
It was brutal for its whatever. Yeah. It was Goldblum.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum was one of the thugs,
one of the
right?
rapers. And that scene, so when Charles Bronson started doing that, even at my early Catholic prude age, I was like, okay, I get what Charles Bronson's doing and I approve it. You know, like, let him go shoot people, an eye for an eye. His wife died, his daughter's in an insane asylum, an eye for a fucking eye,
Absolutely.
you know. And that was the first one. Hard Times was another one that got me.
So good.
The Mechanic got me. Stone Killer got me, whatever that was.
Stone Killer.
Stone Killer got me. The one with the watermelons got me.
He did a Western called Shadow's Land.
Shadow's Land was one of the first ones in New York City. I remember still being a kid.
That was an awesome. And, you know, look at the body he had on him. Was at like 50.
Lee, were we not talking about that last night? About how, with the shape he was in at 51 when he did The Mechanic? And
I'm going to tell you something funny about Charles Bronson. He lived in Malibu when I was a kid, and up to the point he died. He had Alzheimer's when he died. Sorry to say, pretty bad. But my parents' house in Trancas had caught fire, and they had to, we had to fix it, right? So my dad went and stayed in this bed and breakfast inn on Point Doom out there, and he was writing. My dad was a writer, so he'd just write, and he would call me. He goes, I just can't write. He goes, this guy's banging away next door all day, morning, noon, night. He just won't stop, you know, with his girl, right? So he goes out. Who walks out of the room? Charles Bronson. Just he said it was nonstop. It was morning. All three. It was like all day long. He was having a little affair.
What year was this?
This goes back to 19. I'm going to say this is about 19. I would say like 82, 84.
Wow,
yeah. Back
he was
then.
in the 60s. All right.
Yeah. Just banging away. Stud man.
Fuck. And that was before Viagra. That's where you had to sling big
There was
dick.
no such thing as Viagra.
There
right
was
then.
no such thing as Viagra.
You either had it or you didn't.
Yeah, you either fucking lifted weight. Look at poor Lisa. Yeah, these fucking eyes.
Well, you hear the word Viagra, you light up?
I haven't used Viagra. I've once tried Extend, because it was over the counter. Didn't do anything. I wasn't using it for the length, but I was using it for the other.
That's right. You had to make that disclaimer. You realize that, Joey.
What's that? It wasn't using it for the length.
Yeah, right.
Listen.
It's not the motion, it's the ocean, Lee.
What I tell you?
It's not the ocean, it's the motion.
I just knew it didn't do that. I was using it just...
You say I gotta deal with. He buys fucking Extends.
That was years ago.
Who'd you give dick to that night?
Huh?
Who'd you give dick to that night?
You didn't take it home and test it on yourself, did you?
No, it was years ago.
What does that have to do with the question?
No. just a random, just a girl, not a girlfriend.
It's okay to have sex with a girl who's not your girlfriend, Lee. I want you to remember that.
Well, my current girlfriend would say something about that, but
okay, let's not get Lee in any trouble.
No,
I don't get in trouble. I'm just saying.
No, but
listen, if I know fucking Lee,
no, it was when I was.
He bought the Extends and he drank them by himself.
No, I didn't know. No,
and he went home and had a cheeseburger and he whacked off.
Because I talked about.
Grabbed a blueberry pie and went to heaven. Yeah.
I don't even like. See, pie is not good because there's fruit in it, so it's too not good. But anyways, back to the point. I've talked about it on the show before, that before Paula, I had a couple of years I was bigger and I had like a lot of problems. I had problems getting it up when I was younger.
So you took.
So that's why I brought it, because I didn't want it to happen. Because I was.
Oh, you're worried about performance syndrome.
I was in the middle of a dry spell. So yeah.
You're a bad motherfucker. Aren't you happy we found each other? Look at you now. You're a bad motherfucker. You got the blue shirt on.
Lee, be honest with the other groupies now that you're hanging out with the man.
You know what? I've had a girlfriend for the majority of it, so no.
He's been a loyal. He's a
sounds
loyal
very
soldier.
loyal. I like that.
That's
good. I like that.
He's got to be a loyal soldier over here. I can't have him running around banging weird women.
You don't want anybody other than a loyal soldier.
I don't want people knocking on the door, husbands and shit. Lee's giving my wife stabbings. Tom Lee's gonna make her a podcast star. I don't need that shit in my life.
That'd be a tempting offer.
Buff, always a pleasure, man.
Always a
pleasure.
Just
to fucking see you, you know.
Thanks, Joey.
You got so after this thing that your week is, when is your next week of work?
I go to Mexico City in 3 weeks, and then we got the big show in New York City, which I can't wait.
Mexico City is the first week of November.
Yeah, first week of November. Then
and that's RFK against.
That's Rafael dos Anjos and.
That's a fucking tremendous fight.
Pardon me, I don't remember.
Yeah. The kid from San Diego, Eddie Bravo's buddy. That kid's a tough fucking kid.
Oh yeah, but I'm sorry. I'm drawing
blanking
a blank.
Also,
don't
feel
what it is?
bad.
I'm so happy to be just like relaxed. I'll do my cards. I'll get into it, and once I get my cards, and I really get into the fight, because it's hard for me to think 3 fights ahead. I got to go fight by fight by fight.
Yeah.
You know, it's the
I
way
tell
it works.
people hit me up all the time. Hey man, I need tickets for this week.
Oh,
I'm like,
please.
listen, let me explain something to you. I'm 6 weeks away. I'm not even there mentally.
Mm-hmm.
Hit me up the week of. Then they get insulted.
And tough.
Like, what are you talking about, man? Listen, because I don't fucking have time to call down there right now and tell them that you want tickets on that fucking date. They would hang the fucking phone up on me.
Of course they would.
So unless you want me to write your name down and for me to lose it, because I'll forget this shit. So this is why I'm telling you, the night that I'm there, the first night, you call me. The first afternoon I'm there, you time it fucking perfectly. And you call me. Don't text me, call me, and we'll work this out right now. And they get pissed off at you.
It happens all the time.
All the fucking time. And it's like, I don't want to deal with whatever's not in front of my fucking plate.
How about when people come up to you just for the sake of thinking you got tickets in your pocket? I can't. I go through this all the time. They think I walk around with a wad of tickets because of what I do. No, I get 2 tickets a show. I got to buy every other one. It's fine.
It's really, because I had, it's really weird about the public's perception of things.
Perception is reality.
My
for most, for
perception
everybody.
of things, about the public. When I was living in Jersey, what I thought about what movie stars made. You were talking before earlier about, as you get older, you make decisions. It's like now, when I first got here, if you call me and say, Joe, I got a short SAG for you, pays $50 a day. You're in Malibu. It's me, you, my brother, Tito. We're going to shoot it. All right. I come down there. You feed me. You give me 50, whatever the fuck. I have a good time. At least I'm doing it for you, But you get these fucking people who call you in. You shoot their movie while you're there in the sun. Mm-hmm. They run out of water. They got no fucking manners. You work there for 3 days. It's just about a paycheck. How bad do you feel about that paycheck? It's just a fucking paycheck.
Gotcha.
So now you get these jobs ever since after merge with SAG. Mm-hmm. You get these fucking jobs that you can't believe that's what they're paying. You look at them and go, really?
Yeah.
What? What happened? Oh, no, this is what they're paying. Yeah, if you're Johnny Bananas, you get a bigger fucking rate.
Right.
But if you're not Johnny Bananas, this is the rate they're giving you. You might as well take it. Now, ever since I started doing the podcast, they call me, and I'll look at it and go, nope, why not? I'm not going to kill myself, because I know there's 2 by the ways here.
You'd kill yourself at 25, and now at 52, you don't have to kill yourself.
No. And I know what they want to do now. See, it used to be, okay, guest star. So a guest star is a 1-day guest star. In the breakdown, it says 1-day motherfucking guest star.
Right.
When you book it, it's a 1-day guest star plus a table read plus wardrobe.
Plus travel.
So they got you for 3 days. It's supposed to be a 1-day fucking guest star. They always trick you for that extra 2 days. And that money, instead of being for 2 days, is obviously for 4 days.
That's right.
And that's when you're like, fuck it, I'm not going to go down there. Because it's a loss for me.
Well, you just weigh it out. The opportunity cost of time involved, the 4 days divided into the 1-day fee, it just doesn't work. Same thing with appearances, which are, the day to travel there, the day to travel back, the day there. Depending if it's a weekday, maybe it's easier. If it's a weekend, it's tougher. It's just, I don't have a set fee. My fees are based on each, as I'm sure yours are. And then of course you got the movie and TV stuff that occasionally comes by our pathway, and you take what they get. You know what they give you.
I get nothing on my pathway.
Do you know? Do you know what the one thing I like about doing movies and working for SAG? I love that friggin' Blue Cross health insurance. That SAG health insurance is like the best health insurance there is.
If you have level 1.
Yeah,
I've been with level 2 for fucking 2 years now. I can't even go to chiropractic. I can't even get acupuncture.
Why can't you get level 1?
Because you got to work to get level 1. I get level 2 on just 2 jobs a year and fucking and residuals from the movies. And shit.
Yeah.
I was very lucky for years. I was very lucky, and then in 2007, everything slowed down. But guess what? The other end of the coin, because all those years when I was busy with television, people weren't fucking buying tickets and coming to see me.
That's right.
So you have to give you have to give in this business. You have to pick your battles.
Absolutely.
That's the fucking word.
It's not just this business, it's every business.
So I'm very fortunate what I got now. I'm feeding my wife and my child. I never wanted to have a BMW. I never wanted people to light my cigarettes. I don't want none of that shit anyway.
Right.
I'm a normal fucking blue-collar Cuban
That's why I love you, Joey.
felon that don't fuck around. I don't
want to hear.
I don't want to come to your party. I don't want to see the rest of your fucking house. All I want is the fucking spaghetti and the meatballs. You get these people, they invite you. Let me show you the rest of the house. Listen.
So what you're saying is,
with you.
screw my 60th birthday coming up next year. Let me just have Joey over for dinner.
Yeah, no. I'll come to your birthday. Okay. Tell me where to sit and where the food's going to be served, and that's it. But don't come to me and go, did I ever show you my bedroom? I don't want to see your fucking bedroom, Buff, okay? I don't want to see your bedroom. I don't want to see your den. I don't give a fuck what you do in there. I want to see your view. You got a nice view. You have a dog?
I got a beautiful view. No dog.
Okay, and I'll see the dog. You got a cat? I'll see the cat. But don't show me your garage. I don't want to see your 1960 Corvette. I don't give a fuck. I want to see the food. You told me there's going to be cheesesteaks here, the best in town, right? That's all I want to see. Guess what? I'm going to guard those things today. And that's it. I don't want to waste time. But it's always good to see you, bro. I'm
always
sorry
great to see you, too.
The bullshit with you here. Let me just give one shout out. As usual, it's fucking Jimmy. I love it. He went from Jimmy to Chris to Lee, but he's a solid dude.
I'll take all three.
Yeah, we've been asking for you for a while.
This is a joke, folks. You heard me say it a couple times. I know it's Lee, but the last time I was on the show, how long did it take me before I got his name right?
2 hours.
Was that sick? That was sick. So if I said it's not, you understand I'm playing with you.
We had a fucking good time, though, that night.
That was great. That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. As usual, my main sponsor always there for us. On it, putting it motherfucking together. Supplements, weights, vests, kettlebells, weighted bats. I mean, they're doing it all. But the supplements is where I can help you out, okay? Whether it's Alpha Brain, which I always take when I fly, the New Mood. You know what? I haven't taken New Mood in a while because I'm beyond that fucking shit. That shit don't put me to sleep or nothing. But I love the Shroom Tech Sport and the Shroom Tech Immune. And you know me, always in the protein mix. I've always got the hemp protein chocolate because it's the best chocolate I've ever tasted in my life. But if you go to onnit.com right now, take a look at all the selection of supplements they got. Either that MCT oil, the testosterone booster. There's something there that you can use. Go to onnit.com. You see something you like, put it in the box.
Church.
And at the end, press in
Church.
CHURCH and get 10% off your order delivered right to your fucking house, all right? Who does that shit?
I'll tell you that. I'm going to take up on that, too, because I use that as testimony for me on the Honor products. When I play those long poker tournaments, like the World Series of Poker, I load up on that Alpha Brain. I like that Alpha Brain.
The Alpha Brain's very good.
I like that product a lot.
You can't snort them, but if you pop one and shit, you drink a little milkshake, something nice, it's a nice. But it takes a while for it to get into your system, guys. So if you're planning on writing a book or something, this might be for you. Go to onnit.com right now and press in.
Church.
Boom! Church, CHURCH, and get 10% off delivered to your house. I want to thank my main man, Bruce Buffer. I want to thank Lee Syatt. And that's it. I'll see you motherfuckers in Chicago. Thank you for all the love and support. Halloween weekend, South Point Casino, Las Vegas. And then November 11th, the night before the UFC, I'm at the Wilbur motherfucking Theater right there, Boston. I'm bringing Lee with me. He's going to go out there and jump up and down. Look at him. He's all happy. He's talking about eating chocolate and shit like that. I love you guys.
And a Boston bomb.
Don't forget, if you want to order Bruce Buffer, do an announcement for you or a wedding, Bruce Buffer will come to your house, jump out of a helicopter, whatever you need, he'll yell, and here now, whatever. He'll do the fucking Buffer 360. What's the webpage?
BruceBuffer.com.
All right, man. Thank you again. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you cocksuckers back here Monday, all right? Stay black, and thank you for all the love and all the support. And I want to thank the guy who gave me the Hot Wheels in New York for my daughter. I keep forgetting to fucking thank you, okay? I didn't find a note. And also, somebody gave me a goodie bag from Whole Foods. Thank you very much. I took the goodie bag out. I took the note out and put it in my back pocket, but it must have fallen out. I didn't forget it. We enjoyed it. I like the salami sticks, and the fucking plantain chips were delicious. Thank you again. Have a great weekend. Stay black. Be safe.
Love you, Joey. Thanks.
Love you too, brother. All right, Lee, I'm going to pick you up.